Welcome to the Vault XL. This is live number 3. Sebastian Rogers is the topic for this discussion. News 5 WCYB is the source. 5 months missing. It has been 5 months since Sebastian Rogers disappeared. Today marks 5 months since Sebastian Rogers disappeared, according to our sister station WZTV. The TBI tells us they are still assisting the Sumner County Sheriff's Office in the case. Anyone with tips should call 1-800-TBI-FINE. It is listed in this live chat, 1-800-TBI-FINE. If you have credible, reliable information to the whereabouts of Sebastian Rogers and or any information that can be useful. Let me repeat, useful, viable, factual information. Please call 1-800-TBI-FINE. That's News 5 for that source. The next source is WKRN News 2. Thank you for joining me.
Missing teenager Sebastian Rogers. His father holding another search Thursday. Now, officials telling News 2 they wrapped today after 4 days of searching. Investigators also say they covered at least 20 miles on the Cumberland River and used side imaging sonar in their search. Now, we do know some things of interest were found, but they did not go into detail on what exactly they were.
Okay, that was 12 days ago. That's the latest information I could find pertaining to this case. As most of you know, the child is still missing. No new information to his whereabouts. Sad, no news updates to give pertaining to his disappearance. It's just disturbing that you don't even have an update. Nothing new to talk about. Nothing new, period. It's very, very scary information. I'm looking to see, that's last news, WKRN, 12 days ago. 3 months ago, Court TV. Just looking for anything 4 months ago. There's nothing new since they've come out and did Seth did a live on his own network a few days ago. And he was showing, pictures, videos of the child. And then the last information was 2 weeks ago, where search crews narrowed down locations in effort to find Sebastian Rogers. I played you that a few weeks ago. That's the latest information. We have a guest here, Miss Foxy from Canada. She's going to weigh in. She has not kept up with the story in a couple of months. So we will just try to debrief her best as possible. Hello, dear. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me.
So 5 months in, no new information. He's been on the water looking for his son, sonar information to use to try to find something. They found some things of interest. As I said the other day, he went live. Mm-hmm. He did not tell us what those things were that he found, if they're relevant to the case or not. We had also heard that a while back. He had things he was trying to give to Sumner County. I don't know what I'm saying. Just whatever it is, I don't know. I don't know if it's a piece of clothing or whatever. That's when we had this dog handler wrapped into that. And, I don't know where it's going. I just think it's that there's nothing, not even like real updates by the news. Just that piece I just read that he was missing. That was brief, just to say that TBI is still assisting. That's that. Kind of tongue-tied.
So what's the story with the mom? How is she still involved in this? Like, does she come
I don't know
forward?
Anything. Listen, they have not been talking, so I don't know anything about them. I don't watch anything about them. People come in the chat talking about he said, she said stuff. I don't watch anything pertaining to the Proudfoots. Nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anything they have to say is of relevance to me. That's my opinion.
No.
I don't think so. They haven't talked in a while. The only person that's been talking, going live about the child, is Seth Rogers. As I said, he has his own YouTube channel. So now he talks about his child, what he's doing on his channel. He's had surgery. He's talked about that the other day on his network. So it's nothing.
Wow, I didn't know he had his own channel now.
Yeah, he has a YouTube channel. Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
Mm-hmm. That's it. That's
Wow.
the latest. It's not much there. Hello, Holly. How
Right.
are you? Hello, Sammy P. Hello, Sky. Yeah.
So they came out and said that they had something of interest that they found,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't release what that was.
Mm-mm.
And what made them think to search in the water? How did that come about?
I don't know. Just where they chose
Weird.
to search. I don't know.
So weird.
Mm. I guess they figure why not?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
why not search the water, creeks,
Yeah.
lakes,
Yeah.
rivers? I don't know what made them go there. So bizarre. I think it's sad. It's 5 months later and you don't have anything. You don't even have an update to tell us anything.
I
So,
know.
but I'm grateful that TBI is involved, if nothing else.
Right.
So I just lean on them, not to knock Sumner County, but I'm just saying I just prefer another set of eyes
Mm-hmm.
involved.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course,
Some
he wanted FBI involved, Seth. So I don't know. So how that would work. Well, from my understanding, FBI has to be invited into a investigation. They can't override the presiding police department or sheriff's department,
Okay.
or the district attorney can invite them. So it's
Right.
either one, district attorney or the sheriff's office.
Right. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Very, 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 very.
Now, is it true that the Proudfoots put their house up for sale? Like, is that still,
I don't
or is
know.
that debunked?
As I know, they're still there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at least that's
The
good
girl,
because,
the daughter came down to visit. Don't know if she's still here. So you've missed out on everything.
yeah, I did. I missed out on a lot.
Mm.
A
A lot of foolishness.
lot of foolishness, like a lot of back and forth from the family members, and
Mm-hmm.
of course, and that whoever that Tony person was to get involved with, and
He's
be
still
his
there.
spokesperson.
He's
Yeah.
still
Oh
there.
Lord. And last I read, he didn't have the best reputation either. So I don't know how that got in. How that came about, but
I guess he reached out to him, or I can't remember who reached out to whom, but he's still on board.
oh Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the last time I heard they were doing like news, but like they were doing interviews, like everybody was doing interviews about what, they had to say, and then, and then it became like a shit show going after the, mom and the stepdad and everything getting involved and Seth and everything on Front Street about Sebastian's life and all that nonsense. So I don't, I'm kind of glad that you're not going there because so many YouTube channels have, and it just shows the amount
Well,
of
it just gets
integrity that
old.
you
I mean,
have.
it's going to be just repeating a bunch of he said, she said, and
That's right.
at some point
It's
you got to tone it down. But the
right.
is that they're now dealing with mainstream media, which I think is a good thing because really none of them should have came to YouTube, but they did. Naturally,
Mm-hmm.
everybody wants to try to get the scoop, whether you're a blogger, TikToker, podcaster,
Right.
whatever. But
Yeah.
some people are just not made to be on YouTube. And this is a place where things get out of control very fast. Because one, you don't know the people coming to YouTube. Two, you don't know what's the truth. Three, you can't trust the podcaster. See what I'm saying? So you got
Yeah.
all these dynamics involved hoping for the truth. But as I keep telling people, everything's about a version.
Yeah. You're right.
You don't really know what to believe.
Mm-mm. And with so many hands in the pot, you're kind of like, oh, well, what hand is doing what to where? You know what I mean?
It's just a bad situation.
It's
Really
craziness.
I just think it's sad. It's 5 months later and nothing.
I mean, honestly, the boy gets up in the middle of the night, supposedly walks out, and never heard of again. I don't know. There's just something. That's not right. There would have been something, some scent, some kind of clue. I don't know. It's just, what it reminds me of is Summer Wells all over. It's just weird.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely a repeat of that.
Mm. Yeah.
A repeat of that.
What else have I missed? What else is going on?
Well, he's supposed to have Joe Petito on, but that got canceled because allegedly they said some people were threatening him. So I don't know.
Wow. Huh. Interesting.
It's hard to try to recap everything with you because I don't know, you don't know anything recently. Most of the stuff
Right.
recently has just been really gossip.
Yeah.
That's all.
Gossip. That's for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
yeah. Just a neighbor came out to speak. That was a month or two ago, month and a half ago or so. Somebody had him on their network, and she was basically repeating. He said, she said. She's repeating from somebody that allegedly knew, lived on the street or whatever. So it's just been a bunch of BS.
Mm. Diversions.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way to describe it.
Yeah. Well, at least it brought some recognition to, like you said, the mainstream media, so they got involved. So, you have to like give credit to that anyway.
That's who he's going to be dealing with allegedly from now. It's only
Mm-hmm.
local news and mainstream news, which those are the
Mm-hmm.
people you want to deal with. Court TV, News Nation. You want to
Mm-hmm.
stay abreast with those people because they reach a broader audience. It's not saying that people don't watch YouTube, but a lot of people don't watch, true crime on YouTube. That's the difference.
Right.
The things that you're watching on true crime, that's really somebody's perception, their narrative, how they want to spin it on their channel. That's not really facts. You understand what I'm saying? Just like right
Yes.
now, I'm just giving my opinion, yay or nay. It doesn't mean that it's factual. It's just my opinion.
Yeah, I have to agree.
So let me play something from 2 weeks ago. It's been a lot of craziness since.
I mean, just while you're getting that, I just want to make a note that like this case has been just like off the handle, constant.
It's because
He
it's on
said, she
YouTube.
said. Yeah,
It came
it's
to YouTube.
constant.
Listen at this. Summer Wells, they came to YouTube. Seth, he came to YouTube. The Proudfoots, they came to YouTube. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And that's the
Exactly.
thing that nobody seems to understand. Even the people who are coming to YouTube, once you see that the people keep up a lot of foolishness, the networks are keeping up foolishness. You have to tell yourself, then why engage?
Yeah.
This can't be something you want for your child to get the word out of your child. That's just me personally. So that's why when I look at Caleb Harris, his parents have been exemplary, in my opinion. They have said we're not even indulging in reading stuff that they're posting to social media, YouTube or Facebook. That's right. Only a fool goes and comments on what somebody is saying about them or their kid. Why even comment?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're going into the belly of the beast by commenting. They said they didn't do it. They weren't going to do it. They weren't going to listen to people's ideologies and their theories. And they have that right because that's their kid. We're not in
That's
we're
right.
not in their shoes. We're not dealing with what they're going through. We can give our opinion 50 times fold. But in the end, we don't know, you know what I'm saying, what happened.
Right. And is Caleb Harris, he's still missing?
The remains are found and confirmed to be those of him, yes.
Oh, God bless him.
So let me play you this from 2 weeks ago.
Good evening and welcome to News 2 at 6. I'm Bob Mueller.
And I'm Haley Bogus. Sebastian's father told News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry they're operating this like a recovery effort, even though he believes Sebastian is still alive.
Memorial Park was one of the first places Seth Rogers tells me he searched for his son, Sebastian. He says this place is Sebastian's favorite.
Almost 2 months ago, this bridge was lit up in Sebastian's favorite color, green, in hopes of his safe return home. At that time, he had been missing for 2 months. Today,
that's the last time I was there, yeah.
Almost 5 months later.
People think that we're not searching anymore. Well, they can think whatever they want. Our searches are private.
Seth tells me after a herniated disc surgery, it is back to boots on the ground. He says today, over 40 searchers, vetted by his private investigator, will be eliminating locations Sebastian could be in Middle Tennessee.
Now I don't really have much stopping me from getting out there and doing what I need to do.
There's a refocus. We're trying to zero in on more specific information that we are gathering.
Seth tells me his search parties have become invite only due to chaos at previous searches.
They're private because we learned last time. You know, we had people following my searchers around that were just handing out flyers, and it doesn't bode well for people who are trying to help to be put into hostile situations.
But he says the goal today is not to find Sebastian.
The search that we're doing today is a recovery effort. and I'm praying that we don't find him.
Seth says he believes his son is alive, but he added, some people still don't know Sebastian is missing.
We have to continue to hand out flyers until everybody knows.
Seth and Tony tell me they have one unanswered question for the Sumner County Sheriff's Office.
We think it's a valid question. We think it's a fair question. And that question is, are you any closer today to finding Sebastian Rogers than you were February 26th?
And for Seth, the answer to that question is no.
My son's not here, so we're nowhere closer.
Thank you,
If you
Bernice.
have seen Sebastian or have information about his whereabouts, call the Sumner County Sheriff's Office or the TBI. Those numbers are listed on our website, wkrn.com.
Okay, let's read some of the comments below this.
Mm-hmm.
The complete and total lack of clues is the biggest clue. 3 replies. Oh, they're missing. Interesting. Besides Summer Wells, this is one of the most publicized, frustrating, and heartbreaking missing child cases in Tennessee. Best of luck to Seth and his team. It's time that Sebastian is found. That was 2 weeks ago. And those comments are missing. Okay, what is going on here? Prayers for Sebastian's safe return. Thank you for the coverage of Sebastian Rogers' case. Just basic things. Somebody says, ask Katie and Chris. They know where he is. Those replies are missing. Wow.
Yeah.
So anything negative, they've erased. Somebody says he didn't mean he doesn't want him found. He just doesn't want to find him deceased. Exactly.
Right. Exactly. That's
I knew exactly what it meant. Okay.
So did I.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Sorry.
Bless you.
Man, maybe some. Somebody says, where are you, sweet child? God, this is heartbreaking. Yes, it is.
It is.
Up on that because this is sad. Sebastian Strong. Same things. Go Seth. Good luck, my friend, says Sebastian. Wayne Drake. Roger Strong. So just positive replies. Another tragic missing child case. The mom and stepdad sit back and do nothing, praying for Seth and Sebastian.
See, I don't like when people comment that because we don't know what, like, they could be working with the, local police and just being told, like, stay quiet, don't, go to the public, like Seth's doing all the talking.
But they've been on YouTube, so we already know.
But they have, right.
On YouTube, and then the things you've said are negative towards the child. So how would that be productive in finding your kid if you're talking negatively about them?
Exactly.
Platforms talking negative. And the thing I don't understand, and I'll say it here, you allow that to come on your platform. To me, you're no better, different than they are. At what point do you say, I'm not going to have these people back on my channel? They've been up here talking negative about their kid. Who the fuck does that?
I know, that's just integrity there. You
You
wonder about
don't allow
it.
somebody to come on a channel and talk bad about a damn missing kid.
Yeah, you don't.
Somebody says, all you people dragging Seth are wrong. He's the only one, the whole family talking the news, trying to keep his son's story alive. The bio mom won't talk to local news, national news, or any website. She's doing nothing, making no appeals. She and the stepdad are the ones with CPS reports against them in Tennessee regarding Sebastian. Multiple and recent. Chris said himself Sebastian wasn't allowed around the bio daughter he's trying to get custody of. Katie filed for divorce from Seth on 2/16/16, and Sebastian disappeared from her home and was missing, reported missing 2/26/24. Some of you people need to get a clue. What do you think about that? Same day.
Yeah, the bio daughter, that was always in the back of my head, like, where's her in the story? And then also the thing that always bothered me.
That's where she's been in the story. She's been here. They brought her here. She had to come, custody order, which I don't agree with. And I find it very interesting. Whichever judge was officiating out of Tennessee or New Mexico, you didn't get wind of all this hoopla of a missing kid. I'm not going to send a house with a missing kid.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
on my conscience. Hell no.
Of course. And then you have to remember as well, like, like they up and left their house. Like, how I could not leave my house if my kid was missing. I just couldn't.
But yet people say, don't say nothing bad about them. But my thing is, it's just certain things you don't do. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just the actions. It's not the hearsay. It's like what transpired. That makes me wonder.
And then people get mad when you use the word grieve. Well, how you grieving? You don't know that they're dead or not. Grieving means anything. You can grieve a person's missing.
Oh, absolutely. Your sorrow is sorrow.
You get gone 1 month. That says a lot to me. Then you come to talking bad about the kid. You're telling us this and that, all this stuff about him, wearing a diaper, just shit that you shouldn't even be talking about.
Yeah, and especially if that child comes back, that's all on Front Street. That's out there in the entire world to see. Can you imagine how you'd feel?
But you can't imagine if you don't have any empathy. That's what I keep trying to tell people. If you pay attention to people, they tell you what they're made of. You can't really misconstrue coming to YouTube or any social media site talking bad about your kid. My thing is, you didn't say none of this stuff on the news when you first was interviewed. You didn't talk anything about your daughter. You didn't mention anything about his past, of him being, touched inappropriately. You didn't mention that to the news. You didn't bash him on the news. So why would you come to YouTube and decide to pick this platform? Because it was dicier and easier to get away with. See, on the news, you can't sit for hours and go on and on and on about a subject. You can't do that on the news.
You can't.
They got a few minutes of clips to give you time to talk. They cut, they edit. YouTube, free fall.
That's right. That's right. Yep. Free range.
To spin the narrative how you see fit.
Yes, that's exactly it. Creating the narrative, or diverting the narrative, or spinning the narrative, or it's just this kind of it's a free fall. You're right.
When they went to Nancy Grace, they were very polite, mild-mannered. Nothing like how they act on YouTube, talking crazy and popping off and shit. See, that shows you right there. You knew how to tone it down because she is a professional news podcaster and lawyer, blah, blah, blah. So you knew to tone it down. But this is where you know they're fools. You're going to let this woman, who's one of the hardest people as far as giving commentary, Nancy Grace really ain't the person you really want to sit up under. But because they're stupid, they went ahead and did it. She asked her, why did you go out of town in that camper? What did she say? Oh, my husband went to work. She's like, and?
Exactly. Nancy Grace don't play.
Because it's not logical.
It's not.
Your husband's been on the road working when you had the child in your possession. So you're now saying, oh, my child's missing. I can go hang with my husband. It doesn't.
Exactly. That don't jive. It doesn't track.
Yeah. It's a bad look.
It's a really bad look. And and that's what I think created all this, nonsense. Because and again, all due respect, like every parent's different, right? Like everyone's different. They may have had people, I don't know the circumstances. Maybe she was having a mental breakdown. Maybe she wanted to be with her husband for support. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their own thing. But I still feel like myself, just speaking for myself personally, I could not leave my house knowing my son was out there missing.
That's the premise that most people think.
Right.
My child's missing. So if my child is returned or wanders back, I need to be here when he gets here. Right.
And I don't give a fuck about my mental state. I ain't leaving. Like you cannot drag me away. Right.
He can take a few days off from his job for personal, serious leave. I need to be here so my child comes back. I'm here to welcome my child. Who wants to be here if the police come back to tell you yay or nay?
Yes.
There, now they gotta go find you. See, that's ridiculous. What the fuck the police gotta go find you about your kid? That's how I wait.
Me too.
Bam, 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 bam. Ain't nobody here. Call the phone. Hi, how are you? I've been knocking on your door. Where are you? I'm in Memphis, I'm Mississippi. Okay, we found your son alive or found him deceased. You all the way out of town. Come on.
That's right. It don't make any sense. It just doesn't.
You just said the hell with it. I'm taking a vacation. So that just leads me to, in a nefarious manner. That's my mindset.
Yeah, it does automatically go to a nefarious.
It makes you think
automatic.
Now, flip side is they didn't have anything to do with it. They're just shitty ass people. They don't know how to talk. They don't know how to act. They weren't that kind to the kid.
Right.
The kid wandered off.
Right.
If they tell you they don't have no CCTV footage of the child, that should tell you something right there. Then that means he couldn't have wandered off, because then they would say, oh, yeah, we saw him walking out and going to the left, going to the right.
That's right. There was something, someone would have picked it up somewhere,
So
a ring cam, some neighbor's porch cam, something, right?
Ring cam going in either direction. Somebody's got a damn ring cam. I don't care if the street is dark, there ain't no lights. You still can see a figure
Right. And some of them have night vision, so it's like,
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I don't know. It just, like, I honestly, when the thing first came out, my first instinct, and I'm not blaming anybody, I'm just saying my first instinct was foul play. I don't care who was involved. I just felt like something bad happened to this child.
Okay,
And I was
when you
very
first saw
hopeful.
that, what was it about the story that made you think it was foul play?
Just because, like, she was on the phone, and then she wasn't on the phone, and then she was asleep, and then she, like, just nothing made any sense, right? And then, like, how is this child who is on the spectrum, divergent, we'll call it, and wanders outside with shoes off and all these things. I mean,
Right.
it just didn't make any sense to me. Of
Right.
course, if an autistic child's going to run because they're afraid, they don't give a fuck about shoes. I know that personally because I have a friend who was a neurodivergent child and very low on the
I
spectrum.
could see it run if his life was in danger, but at least
You're right.
An ant
Right.
thing.
It's not about right.
Maybe people are cautious about I ain't going outside out no shoes. But if you're running for your life, you ain't gonna care.
That's right. And so that's where my heart kind of went like, uh-oh, like that don't make sense, right? So there was a lot of things about it in the initial statements that just did not make me feel good about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
I just had this weird intuitive feeling like there's something bad happened. Now, whether mom was sleeping and something bad and then it was covered up, or the daughter or the stepfather, or maybe the neighbor, I mean, who knows? But it's just, I mean, how are you gonna not? Oh, and that's the other thing. You hear a thump in the night. I'm gonna go check on my child. I'm sorry. I hear a thump. What the fuck? Are you okay? Like, she just sits there. Like, doesn't go check. Like, what's that? That just made me, I don't know. It just showed me her lack of, like, I guess, well, he was teenager, so yeah, okay, maybe it was just normal behavior, and maybe we don't know that he does it all the time. Maybe just didn't, she didn't think anything of it. But just the way she explained it, like, it just didn't seem, I don't know. It just seemed like she was holding back something. And again, I'm not blaming her. I'm not suggesting she's at fault at anything, but it just, and again, when you're scared about your child being missing, you don't always say things right, and you should never be judged by how you present yourself, but just the chain of events that supposedly took place just doesn't make sense to me. That's just how I felt about it.
Okay. I was trying to find the original interview for some reason. It's just not.
Like, she just seemed so passive about it, like. And you know what? Maybe she's in shock, and like I said, every parent's different how they handle situations. But you're right. I did see a consistent theme of a lack of empathy on those two, and I mean, I'm not saying Seth's perfect either. There's things that trigger me about him, but I just think that there's this weird kind of, like, I don't know, like there's something they're not saying. There's something there just wasn't said. So that's just me, though. And again, I'm not saying it points a finger to them being the perpetrators of it, but I think that there might have been like, oh, well, I got drunk and I passed out and I woke up and he was gone. Like, you know what I'm saying? That one made more fucking sense. But
well, let's go back
no.
to the beast the first week that he went missing.
Okay.
Hold on. Well, hold on.
All right, our top story this half hour. It's been nearly 1 week since 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers went missing over in Sumner County. Our Jaxie Pigeon live at the command center this morning with the very latest developments. And Jaxie, we understand reward money is now on the table.
That's right, Blake. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office tells us that a group of local investors invested a minimum of $3,000 toward any information that would help investigators in finding Sebastian Rogers. I now want to bring in EMA Director with Sumner County, Ken Widener. Ken, as we near this week-long search effort, where are you focusing starting today?
Well, we keep expanding. So we've expanded west, and we're expanding north. We just keep expanding the search area, and we're bringing different teams in. Yesterday we had a group from East Tennessee come in. They're mountainous experts, and they do caves, and so we've had any cave that we've marked, we've had them in those caves. The city of Gallatin has done all the storm drains in the area with cameras. So we keep expanding and just throwing everything that we can at it to try to get him located.
In terms of the search, you said you've been expanding. About how much ground have you covered?
We're close to 5 miles now. Now, the further south you go towards Hendersonville, we get in the city, and we would expect he would be located or seen if he were in the city. And we've gone into the city, sort of in the fringe, in the more not as urban areas of Henderson, but we've been all the way to the lake on the streams that travel to the lake. We've been to the lake.
And you have over 300 searchers here.
Well,
Yesterday.
We had 330 on the ground, and then we'll run the numbers later today on how many come in today, and we're running that as the day goes on.
And 43 years in law enforcement, you told me. What does this experience look like in terms of people coming together to help out in this one mission to find Sebastian Rogers?
Well, one thing about Tennessee and the Southeast is we're always going to have people that want to help. And
exactly.
We get calls.
We are the volunteer state.
Across the state for people that want to come in and help us. And the thing we got to do is be able to manage that. So we track everybody that's on the ground. The first 2 days, we did 2,000 miles of people walking. And we haven't run those numbers for the entire duration of this operation, but it's great, and to be able to call in specialized groups that do the things that we can't do is really good.
And what keeps you going as you're keeping going after this week just to find Sebastian Rogers? How do you keep going, you and your team?
Oh yeah, just the drive to find him. We'll go talk to the parents in a little while, and every morning we sit and talk to them. We want to do everything for them and for Sebastian to get him located.
Thank you so much, Ken. If you do have any information, you're asked to reach out to the Sumner County Sheriff's Office or the TBI. Also check those cameras, like they said, Sunday to Monday, Sunday afternoon to Monday morning. For now, live in Hendersonville, Jaxie Pigeon, back to you.
Oh, yeah, thanks to Jackson for that live interview there. Really good information. You can hear they're expanding their search efforts this morning, continuing to expand, searching every possible area where Sebastian can be, but also relying on the community to check those security cameras and to check your yards. And if you are searching, only search in pairs. So as we continue to learn any new information about this story, we will first pass that along to you.
So 1 weekend and 300 searchers. How do you feel about Seth saying they had searchers who were being followed?
Well, I do know that some YouTubers came up and they were getting involved. I'm not going to say their names, but they're quite famous for being instigators to shit. And so I think that's what he's referring to there. But I don't know. Other than that, I don't know what he would mean by that.
Say what?
I'm just saying, like, other than YouTubers coming up onto the, the scene and like looking around and going around and like taking footage of the neighborhood and like following the campers and, wherever if that's what he's referring to, I understand. But if not, then I don't get what that comment means.
Well, I think it's common sense. People were following them around. Why would you be following a searcher around? What sense does that make?
That's what I'm saying. Like, unless it was the YouTubers like trying to get the scoop, I can't see how that makes any sense.
It don't matter who it is. Why are you following a searcher?
Well, for their channel.
Okay.
But if it's not for their channel, then yes, why? Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, if it was just a random person, then that's kind of odd, right? So why?
The people who are searching Seth, they don't have to know who a YouTuber is. So if you're out with your phone and you don't look like you're searching, it don't matter if you're a YouTuber or not. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you don't look like you're engaged in what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's there. You're supposed to be there to help find a little boy.
Right.
So it don't matter if you're there to disrupt it. It's film. It ain't right.
No, you're right, Dave. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Because one, Tennessee is a vast state. This is a long state. So you're talking about going into the abyss looking for a kid. You could step into a sinkhole. You could step into a manhole. You got to make sure you're not
A
on
river.
private property, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all like in the area where I live. This isn't the place you want to tread off looking for a person because you can get your ass out there and can't be found. That's why when they were searching for Summer, they didn't want random people helping for that very reason. The terrain here is rough.
Right.
By full foliage. You can get your ass lost out here.
Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why they wanted people trained and they got walkie-talkies and they know where they are. That makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, the region there is made, a bit different, but it's still vast land. And if you're not there for the common goal, you don't need to be there.
Yeah, you got no business being there anyway, regardless.
Yeah, you're not there. You're not there to search for the kid.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. I'm trying to find the original interview. I don't know why they don't have this original interview on YouTube. They've got bits and pieces, but not the whole thing.
You mean when
they first spoke?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got to try to find.
I can see it in my face, in my mind's eye, though. Like, she's sitting on the stool. He's behind her in the kitchen. Like, yeah.
I'm trying to see.
Or right sitting behind her, I guess, or beside her, or whatever it was.
Yeah, this case has had so much nonsense.
And it causes unnecessary confusion too, right? Like
WSMB, that's what I'm looking for.
And don't get me wrong, like I think a lot of these YouTubers have their, some of them have they're like they mean well, like they're just trying to get the out there so people know about it, trying to get all the information, trying to follow the facts, trying to do their own little journalism about it. But sometimes, it's kind of like if you don't have any new information, like don't keep, it's just like then in my mind it's like, okay, well, like there's hundreds of thousands of missing kids. No disrespect to this one, but until you have more information, keep the name out there, but let's not just keep dwelling on the he said, she said bullshit, like just making it worse, making it worse.
Okay, I think I got it. They show it in an article. I hate these articles because they break up. That's why I don't understand why they don't have the whole video in YouTube. It's like 6 minutes long.
Yeah, Nursery said the YouTubers didn't do anything. Well, they kind of did. They got involved. Like they got involved, and like one YouTuber went around to the neighborhood and was filming neighbors and the house that they lived in, and like I'm sorry, if I would want some YouTube.
Don't do that.
What do you mean?
You ain't got to explain nothing to nobody.
That's right.
Because you ain't got no business being there if you're not there for the right reasons.
That's exactly it.
Just describe that to our viewers too, as far as his way of thinking of things and maybe how determined he was about certain things. Or
it's kind of low.
He's got a stubborn mindset. If he believes it's this,
he gets on a one-man track and he is just on it, and he is all about it.
But he's very smart. He can play chess. He can beat adults in chess.
Wow. He loves playing games. What about navigation? Like, did he have a sense of direction?
Can you hear it okay?
Yeah, maybe just a little bit higher in volume.
I tried. I can't see the articles. They don't play it loud or good.
That's okay. I can make it out.
Okay. Speculation. Directionally, he knows.
Is that a little better?
He could guide.
Yeah, that's perfect.
His dad's house. Yeah. He could get from like this house. I think he can make it up to Culver's ice cream.
He can go to Culver's.
He
knows where Culver's is because Culver's has malt. He loves malt, extra malt. Every time, extra malt. Now, how far away does his dad live?
Clarksville. His dad lives up by Clarksville.
So he could guide someone all the way to Clarksville. Oh, wow. Okay. So a pretty keen sense of direction, at least with certain things. Familiar routes.
Yes.
Familiar routes. Familiar routes.
And if I took him another route,
he takes it. He goes up there so often that he knows how to get to his daddies. We know that.
His dad works with him as far as, well, we're going this way, we're going that way. And same thing and it works out.
Let's talk too, because earlier, Chris, you and I were talking, and you were saying that there are a lot of people who are harassing both of you. What, if any of that, do you want to address? What do you want to say to any of these people?
Just that you don't know. And I don't wish you to ever know.
I would say it like this. Everybody has an opinion. You know, and it's perfectly okay to have that opinion. But you're not in the situation. You don't quite understand. I wish people would step back, take a different wide open view, and not assume what they know. It's just better to stick to the facts.
And what are
the questions? All they have to do is ask.
And I pray genuinely that no one ever goes through this.
Just be kind to people. I mean, it's real simple.
So they're contradictory because they have not been kind to their child in the commentary.
Who have been talking, because I know this is part of the harassment.
And I don't hear anybody crying about where's my baby.
Custody situation.
So I have a current case that is ongoing in another state. We've requested that case to be sealed because there are some individuals who have taken upon themselves to put stuff out there that they don't quite know, which all they have to do is ask, and I'll tell you. But because of that, you know, it has nothing to do with our son. It has nothing to do with the situation. You know, I just people would respect that and keep an open mind. It's totally different.
Has nothing to do with the case. Interesting. Or does it?
He brought it up, didn't he?
He said because people were meddling and pulling up stuff about the case out of town. His daughter.
Yeah.
We love you so much, and we want you to come home, and you're not in trouble.
See, I found that interesting.
I did too.
I guarantee you he is loved. And trust me, the open arms are waiting for him to come home. From every parent to every family members to probably everyone in the community. But there's no doubt he just want our boy home. Bad. Badly. But
That mama's heart. Daddy's too. But I feel like there's always that extra special bond. Can you walk us through what you're thinking right now?
I just want my baby to be okay. I don't know where he's at. I don't know where he's at.
Walking.
Let's talk about the community because I want you all to know. Even my church body. I mean, we're all praying. We're all praying for his safe return quickly. What do you all want to say to the community?
with everything from the bottom of our hearts.
As we've seen this before.
I would not have imagined how far this has gotten.
Susan Smith.
But there's no way to repay gratitude, the love that we have felt from the community, the prayers. But thank you.
But don't stop looking.
Please.
My son is somewhere.
Say hello until he's home.
Bring him home. Well, I don't know if that's all of it with the commercial. Interesting. Yeah, I guess it's done. What do you have to say about the original content?
Well, two things I picked up on. If I was to look at it from a psychologist's point of view, you have two things happening. You have the stepfather taking point in the conversation, leading it.
Okay.
Number two, they're very calm when they're talking about it. and they lead
now when she started crying, kind of crying.
Right, but they lead the conversation with, oh, don't worry about this other thing. It's not to do with the case. And, all this he said, she said stuff like, leave me alone and stop following me.
That was early.
Not
was disturbing to me is that this what he's speaking of about the people digging up stuff about his daughter and that woman, the wife, ex-wife.
Yeah.
That was early on.
Right.
People were digging like week 1. That's a lot.
That's a lot. So, in my opinion, that would be the last thing on my mind. I would want to be straight on. Where's my kid? Somebody help me find my kid. My child's missing. Please, dear God, this, we don't know what happened to him. And then, at the end, listen, I know there's a lot of been said, but let's stick to the facts to find my child. But no, it's flipped. It's the opposite direction.
That's
so that was
That's what was bothering him more than the kid. I don't want you digging up business and talking about my business on social media. You got something you got to say, you want to know, come ask me. That's
right.
That's what he was worried about.
That's right. That's right.
He was more concerned about he said, she said.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he brought it up.
And that speaks volumes as to what his priorities were. Right, very selfish. And
you're worried about what people are saying. People are going to talk.
Right. Mm-hmm. So I found that interesting. Then let's talk about her. So when she started speaking, she also was very calm, and they were laughing and talking about him and how smart he was, and how he plays chess.
He was a great chess player to wearing a diaper, and all this other negative stuff you were saying on people's channels. That's what's so amazing about them. You knew where to take the bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's positive on a local platform such as the news, but it's negativity on a YouTube channel. Pay attention.
Right. Yep. Follow the signs.
Interview about Sebastian Rogers, but you make sure to stay on YouTube in the belly of the beast talking negatively about him. That tells me a lot about who they are and what the fuck was going on behind closed doors.
Exactly. And you know what? If I was to cause shit, I'd say, you know what? Maybe he was abusive towards Sebastian, because that comment she made was weird to me. It struck me too when she said, "Don't worry, you're not in trouble." Like, what do you mean you're not in trouble? Right? You say he's not a runner. He doesn't run because he's scared or upset or freaking out.
In trouble, you could come back. Well, what will make him think he was in trouble in the first place?
Right. Did you come to your mom and say something that was happening? Did you, get in a fight with stepdad? Did you, what? You know what I mean? Like, were you mouthing off and, somebody got angry and somebody got hit? And somebody ran off and fell down a cliff. I don't know.
I got to throw this in here because of our last topic. Somebody has a video up. It's 5 days ago. It says Gypsy Rose TT live panhandling again.
Oh, Lord. See?
It was in the lineup. The stuff I was looking for. I'm supposed to be looking for anything on Sebastian Rogers. Oh, God. That she's got to get that money. They got bills to pay, baby.
But yeah, I mean, just like some of the people. So yeah, some of the things in chat's interesting too. Let's
do the flashlight thing. Let's go there because that's the next.
Yeah. Okay.
Too. I don't know if you remember that or not. You remember that?
Yeah, that somebody saw a flashlight in the back. Something about garbage. Yeah. They took the garbage out or some shit like that. I remember they were saying.
They mentioned that in his last live the other day. He wouldn't give a comment, though.
15-year-old Sebastian Rogers has been missing for 18 days. An exclusive look at new video evidence. Thanks for joining us here at 6. I'm Rory Johnson.
And I'm Hunter Hoagland. A lot to get to here tonight. Authorities have scrutinized home security video from that Hendersonville neighborhood, trying to learn what happened to that teen with autism.
Now, you can take a look for yourself. Our Nick Barris obtained video that appears to show 2 people near Sebastian's home the night his parents say he disappeared.
The video you are about to see is from early Monday morning, February 26th, around 3:10 a.m. Now, there are no street lights in the Stafford Court neighborhood, so it is at night, pitch black. What you will see here are these 2 points of light, believed to be people with flashlights, in the area around Sebastian Rogers' Hendersonville home. It is believed Sebastian left his home barefoot and with a flashlight sometime overnight. Since his disappearance, authorities have reviewed security video from homes in the neighborhood looking for clues. We have had several clips that have come in, and this one is getting the most attention, showing signs of activity around Sebastian's home the night he disappeared. You see two light sources, which we've circled to help you follow. For point of reference, the security camera was pointed toward the back of Sebastian's home in a common area. In the video, you see subject 1 with a light source in the lower right-hand corner. Then you see subject 2 briefly appear and move toward the first before that light source is covered or obscured by bushes. Subject 1, a few seconds later,
Oh, you went mute. We lost you. We lost you, Queen. Oh, we done lost her. Did we lose her? Can you guys hear me in chat? Maybe it's my earphones. Oh, no, it is just me. She got booted. She'll be back, guys. She fell out of her chair. She'll be back. Yeah, you know what, Godric? Like, okay, we can speculate and we can say, yeah, like, you know, that's likely what might happen, but you know, I don't want to say that only for respect because we don't know yet. But if it happened, like, you know, in a lot of these cases, it never surprises me, you know, when it comes to like maybe the parents were involved, right? Okay, thanks, Godric. Yeah, I think Miss Queen just fell out her chair for a second. She'll be back. She booped out. Maybe she's gonna probably jump back on here in a minute. So we'll hold it down for her. We'll hold the house down for her. Check in with chat while she's gone. Keep it real. Sky Maiden says love and blessings. Oh, that's sweet. Hey Sammy P. Bernice is back. Hey Bernice. JH. So you think oh no. We can't talk about him. Lisa says Foxy, exactly. Oh yeah, that's good, Lisa. See, yeah, it's just weird how it was so backwards when they were talking. I won't ever respect them, even if they are innocent, after the way they talked about. Yeah, you know what? That's the truth, and that's the truth. Facts is facts. Like the words that are spoken definitely speak volumes. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back.
Second.
You fell out your chair, didn't you? I knew it. There she goes again. God bless her. She's maybe like maybe she's thinking.
It blinked out for some reason. So crazy. Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
So let me finish what they were saying. Lord, I came back in here and I said, what in the world happened? I looked up, the whole screen was gone. I was like, what in the world is going on here?
Queen's just talking away. She's not even on the line.
I wasn't talking. The audio was playing, and I stepped out for a minute, and I came back, and I said, okay, where's my screen? Where's the screen at? Okay, so let's go back a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
Good Lord.
Oh, no.
Did he meet and leave with someone? Sebastian's father says his son would not go with a stranger.
It's up in the air for me because I don't think he would get into a vehicle with somebody unless he knew them.
So what exactly are we seeing here? I know investigators are doing what they can to try enhancing the video for any more clues. For now, this video is now part of the Sebastian Rogers missing person file, and I'm told it could be more significant depending on where the ongoing investigation leads. We'll be covering that. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
Oh, wait a minute.
Any possibility of foul play? If you think you can help, call 1-800-TBI.
Let me go back a little bit on that.
News Channel 5.
Thanks, Nick. Of course, the search for Sebastian continues, with detectives now looking into any possibility of foul play. If you think you can help, call 1-800-TBI-FIND.
So that's probably about 1 month into it, because he's been gone 5 months. So by month
Right.
1, they're then talking about foul play.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting.
Very interesting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it would have to be, because think about it. There's no footage of him ever being seen walking down the street. No neighbors to corroborate that, that like somebody saw him, or, he's got to sleep. So where's he going to get up and walk out the next day? He's going to got to eat. So he's going to go somewhere to find food. Somebody's going to see him somewhere. That never ever happened. So likely that's why they went directly to foul play, because, hello, like what else would you... What else is there? It's just a deduction, you know what I mean? Like, just the rules of elimination. If you don't have A, B, and C, well, it must be D. It's unfortunate.
Let's hear from your good old friend.
Who's good old friend?
Hold on.
That reminds me of another question. Do you guys have a motion sensor light or light on the outside of your house?
Your girl.
You get it, girl.
Did they activate that night?
They're not motion sensor. We have lights.
Were they on that night? Okay. Were they on that night? So the lights were out the whole night?
Yes, ma'am. We don't typically turn the floodlights on.
Were there any lights outside the house on at all?
Just my little solar lights that we have in the garden.
There's 2 lights on the side of the house above the garage that are on at all times.
Oh, yeah, those are on.
Oh, there's a light above the garage that's on at all times?
There's 2, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so those lights were on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is because I heard you say earlier, Mr. Proudfoot, that your neighbors have been very, very forthcoming with their Ring camera info. And I was trying to determine if any lights were on, what, if anything, they may have caught. But I understand from your previous interviews that nothing of any evidentiary value was caught. And also, in another statement you gave, I understand that the video of the 2 flashlights, and I'm saying that with air quotes, that's not exactly what that was at all. We now don't believe that 2 flashlights were observed around your home. Is that correct?
Yes.
You're very correct.
Okay.
What do you have to say about that?
Question regarding your vehicles.
Do you want to speak on that?
No, I got nothing to say about that right now.
Drive.
Okay. All right.
I drive a Infinity SUV.
Year?
2017.
Damn, you got all that nasty?
And, sir, what do you drive?
I drive a diesel truck, Chevrolet.
I drive a Pinto.
Year?
I think it's a 2021, I think.
So your Infinity SUV was parked
How do you
in
not
the
know the
garage
year
or
you drive your
outside the
truck?
garage that night, Miss Proudfoot?
You don't know the year of your truck?
In the garage. And Mr. Proudfoot, your vehicle was on location in Memphis. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So there's only one
She
car
cracks me up, Nancy.
right?
There was actually a work vehicle in the driveway at the time as well, but it hasn't moved. We can't give out that information because we don't have permission from her work.
Oh, that's the work truck.
I don't understand that.
So
What?
2 cars were there.
Right.
About the make and model of the vehicle.
I have a work van that was also parked in the driveway.
See, that bothered me too.
If it's out in the driveway where people
You want
can
me to
see,
pause?
why is that?
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. So that work vehicle being in the driveway and somebody seeing flashlights, like, no. That rubbed me the wrong way too.
Because?
Because you could easily, like, let's just use let's use Miss Staunch for an example. You can get a body into a car and not really know, and nobody can see what's going on.
That's the purpose of putting it in the garage.
Right?
Backing it up or putting it in the garage. Let's go back to Mr. Watts. Stay woke.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So this is what I asked the chat the other day. Does she normally park her car in the garage or in the driveway? That's going to be pivotal. That's why you need the data. You need the cameras from neighbors to say, oh, she normally parks in the garage or she normally parks in the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
And then the flip side of that is a person has the right to park their damn car where they want to park it, right?
Right, but where did they park it that night? And they suggest it was in the driveway. So.
No, the work van is in the drive, but her
That's what I'm saying.
In the garage.
Right, but who cares about her car? I'm talking about the work van.
Well, what's the relevance of the work van?
Well, the relevance of the work van is that you could have something removed in the work van, okay? And no one would be the wiser.
Guess what? Yeah, but you're not going to want to do the work van for the obvious reason.
Well, yeah, of course, because of evidence.
They could have a tracker on it, so that'd be stupid.
Right, but if it doesn't have a tracker on it, because we don't know what type of work van is it, right? Like,
and I never thought about it.
Because you could easily take that work van, say that's one of 12 work vans that she worked, like you don't, right? Just say, for devil's advocate, and that work van then goes back to work and sits there and gets cleaned by service, and no one's the wiser. I'm not saying anybody did anything. I'm just saying if we're gonna play the maybe game,
van till now,
right?
Never. Let's do the flashlight. Let's say it was flashlights back there. This crossed my mind before. Imagine telling your child, let's play a game. I got a flashlight. He's got a flashlight. We're going in the back, and the child's probably asking, what are we doing, Mommy? Oh, we're just going to play a little game, hide and seek, whatever you want to call the game. And that was to get him out of the house to the backyard and then maybe walk somewhere else, because the lights eventually dissipated. And then we took them to another vehicle, because everybody wants to keep mentioning another vehicle. Could this have been a game to play with the child? And then met up with somebody else?
Could very well. And then also there was the conversation of maybe he was lured out of the house with some sort, because then it came out, oh no, he wasn't internet gaming. Oh no, he never did any of that. And then now it came up that he did. So.
But I think they would have found that person by now, only because when you're dealing with the government, TBI, Secret Service, see, all those people are involved. All these
internet tech savvy people, yeah,
they're all involved with the missing network. All that's involved. So it wouldn't take long to trace that phone to a person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people are not crafty enough to hide luring a child, because you really can't hide it. You can buy a burner phone, of course. That would be the only thing. The way to hide it is you use the burner phone to contact a kid.
Right.
I mean, that's your best option. That's not to be found out.
Right. And like I said earlier, I do not, want to place blame, but when these types of situations unfold and, it ends up being a relative or a parent that's involved, it really doesn't surprise me when the facts are all there with red flags,
I go with the FBI. I go with the FBI reports. And my thing is, we've seen this time and time again, people crying on the news, crying about their child. And they're the
Look at Letitia Staunch. Look at Letitia Staunch. Look at that nonsense.
It's countless of them. So my thing is, I go with the FBI reports. The average child goes missing. Yes, it could be a runaway. Yes, it could be a kidnapping. Yes, it could be somebody lured them. And then it also could be the main line. Somebody in that house got rid of the child.
Right.
And right now, with you not having nothing, that's going to be just how. Seriously. Then how do they get out of there? Because if you're going to tell me you don't even know, you don't have information on a child walking out, then you can't use lure and kidnap.
That's right. What's the chat think? What do you guys think? What do you think? What do you guys think about the work van and the flashlights and all that? That'd be interesting to see what they think.
I haven't heard anybody ever talk about the work van. That's interesting. I don't think I've heard anybody on YouTube talk about the work van.
I thought about it.
sitting there. Because I know that most people that have a work van, they ain't gonna want to use it. Just for the reason of if it's seen on camera moving, you ain't gonna want to say you did that. Say, because you're not gonna be able to explain that work van out of hours moving.
And I want to know how long the work van was there for. I want to know when the work van left, what day it was there, and what day it wasn't, what day she took it back to work.
She don't take it nowhere. That damn thing's still sitting there. Just a month or so ago, somebody was riding by taking pictures.
All right. Well, that's okay.
It was at least 2 months. I was watching a video, about maybe a month and a half, 2 months. That van was still sitting there. The guy did it on YouTube channel driving by.
There you go.
So then I'm wondering if she still works for him, because at some point, if she ain't working for him, ain't they going to want their van back?
That's what I'm saying. Something don't add up. Something does not add up in that scenario.
Her company to divulge that information.
Have you asked?
No, ma'am, we have not. Nobody has asked us.
So that was.
Have you asked?
Okay, so
Nancy,
you have a question. Question to you, Miss Prophet. What do you do for a living?
I am an installation technician.
I don't do shit. I don't do a damn thing.
That night, was the work van blocking your driveway?
Installation technician.
Driveway.
I'm chasing after my husband.
The van is parked at the back of my driveway so someone can't pull in, yes.
What do you
Got it. Do you park your Infiniti SUV in the garage or outside the garage?
In the garage.
In the garage. Do you have an automatic garage door?
With a clicker.
Right. Do you leave that up or down at night?
Down.
Could anybody lift it up? Like, is there an on and off button outside, or do you have to know a code or have the clicker to open it?
You'd have to know the code or have the clicker.
Does Sebastian know the code?
Not to the garage door, but to the man doors.
Interesting.
Not to the garage door, but to the house doors?
The regular door, yes.
So is there a code to get in your home, or do you use a regular key?
There's a code.
Damn, no keys.
And he knows that code.
Yes, ma'am.
They're savvy, aren't they?
Question. I'm just trying to figure out how he would have gotten out, or if somebody came into the home. Could they have gotten through the garage door? No, unless they know the code or had the clicker, which they did not. Do you lock your doors at night?
I haven't focused on that right there.
Yes, ma'am.
Could he have left on his own through those doors?
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Got to get a code to come in.
Because it locks from the inside.
So that
makes
if that's the
all you gotta do is unlock the latch on the inside and walk out. It doesn't.
So they don't have them coming out. Either refuse to believe you got code entry and don't got security cameras. That would be odd. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That friends have a security push button code to come in the house, but you don't have an alarm.
Now let's look at this. If it's a code entry door, there are logs of how many times a door's been unlocked and locked.
The words right out of my mouth.
Yep. But it would not show up if you unlocked it from the inside, see?
If you what?
If you unlock the door from the inside and left and close the door, right? It wouldn't show as it being an entered log because you have manually unlocked the door and left. When you close the door and it locks on its own, then you would have a log.
I think you said in this interview they didn't have a security system.
Right, but you don't have to have a security system. If it's a locked door system, that itself has a log of itself. It will send you, like, if you have it set up, it can go right to your phone and it'll tell you how many times the door's been locked and unlocked.
Well, then
and usually,
then you got to ask that question, and you haven't heard anything about that.
Right, I've never heard it talked about anywhere. It's the same.
Listen, do you believe they had a security system?
Put it this way: if I was a parent of a neurodivergent child,
no, we ain't talking about you. I said, do you think they had or have a security system? Did they have one the night the boy went missing?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't think so. I don't know. Because on one hand, you could say yes because they had all those vehicles and they want to protect their house.
And she worked for a security system, so that's why people are banking. Why would she not have one? She's working for one. Wouldn't she get a discount? Well, she may.
I thought she.
It's just like working for the Ford dealer. Just because I work for Ford don't mean I drive a Ford.
Right, but I thought she was an insulation technician, not a security technician.
It don't matter. We're still talking about a security company.
Yeah, but insulation has nothing to do with security company, is it?
It could.
Could it?
Why would you be working installation and it ain't a security company? That makes no sense.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if it was insulation, wouldn't she be working construction? Like,
well, I'm saying, sweetheart, a security company installs the security. So what people are going to just naturally assume you would have it naturally from that company. But like I just said, you can work for Ford, but don't drive a damn Ford. See what I'm saying?
No, I'm fine. I know what you're saying, but I mistook installation for insulation, like, you know, the packing you put in walls for construction companies. That's what I thought she did. Not because insulation sounds like installation.
Well, I don't know how you got that from that.
What do you mean? Queen, they sound the same.
No, but wouldn't you ever know somebody worked for construction and drove a van?
If they're installing like loads and loads of installation, they're going to have a vehicle to drive it. It comes in big bundles, right? And they go and they're custom installs, right? So you go in and they install an installation in the home.
Well, we hadn't heard anything about that, dear.
Huh?
We have not heard that.
Right, but that's what I thought she did. I didn't know she worked at a security company. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I didn't pick up on the security thing. I thought it was insulation, like for a construction company. I didn't realize that it was an installation company of security, like putting, installing security systems. Yeah.
What do you have to say now?
What's that? Now that I know it's a security system, yeah, she probably would have, definitely. 100%. I would.
Well, she said she ain't have one.
Makes no sense if she worked for a security company.
I don't want their security. I don't want their security.
Me neither.
I don't want them. I want ADT. Or they were comfortable thinking nothing would happen.
Maybe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to continue this?
But I found it interesting how she said she doesn't put the floodlights on at night. What the fuck do you use a floodlight for but at night? Pardon my language. But you know what I mean?
Maybe she was conserving her electric bill.
Yeah, maybe she meant like when they go to bed kind of thing. They don't turn them up. They turn them off.
That's when you need the fuckers on. When you go.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But it's like, I don't know. It's just weird.
Let's think about it. You don't have a security system and you have floodlights, but you don't turn the lights on when you're going to bed. That makes no sense.
Right.
Or what do you need them for?
And you have code locked doors. Yeah, I know. That's just weird.
Very strange. Because she's lying.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're lying.
I do too. Mm-hmm. Let's proceed, girl.
Okay.
He could, yes.
But I heard in another interview where Mr. Proudfoot said he was not a, quote, wanderer. He didn't wander around. He never left the home before on his own. Is that right?
Correct. We haven't had issues with him running or taking off in the past.
So, anytime my mom goes on a trip, I have to take care of her.
Sorry about that.
That's
Anytime your mom goes on a trip, where's she going? To the prop.
I know.
Any home surveillance, anything at all that would have given us an idea or a clue if the door had been opened or not, or a window?
Not directly from our house.
Not to see. Wait. Let's pause that. Let's pause that.
Okay.
Okay. You see how she said not directly from our house? That's the truth. But what she's omitting is she had a log to likely her phone that suggested what doors came unlocked and locked. So Nancy should have picked up on that and came right back and said, listen, if you have locked doors, why is there no log of that? That's what she should have said. But anyway.
They always miss stuff.
Yeah, she missed that.
Let's go back to that. Hold on. Let's go back.
Cameras and may have picked something up.
If you're from Tennessee.
What the heck? Damn. I jumped off trying to go back.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, correct.
Okay. Question regarding your vehicles. Ms. Proudfoot, what make and model do you drive?
I drive
I didn't mean to go that far back.
Infinity SUV.
Year?
2017.
Out or if somebody came into the home, could they have gotten through the garage door? No, unless they know the code or had the clicker, which they did not. Do you lock your doors at night?
Yes, ma'am.
Could he have left on his own through those doors?
He could, yes, ma'am.
See?
But I heard in another interview where Mr. Proudfoot said he was not a, quote, wanderer. He didn't wander around. He had never left the home before on his own. Is that right?
Correct. We haven't had issues with him running or taking off in the past.
Okay, let me ask you a couple of questions regarding the doors.
In the past.
Do you have any home surveillance, anything at all that would have given us an idea or a clue if the door had been opened or not, or a window?
Not directly from our house.
See?
Yeah, I heard that.
Well, then from where?
That's what we were hoping that neighborhood ring cameras and may have picked something up.
Gotcha.
That's
I want to
odd.
go back to that night. You said you were up till midnight. You were reading something. What were you reading?
A chapter for school.
A chapter for school. Are you in school?
Oh, she had
I was, yes, ma'am. I was
Besides your
dropping my
pen.
classes for the time.
What are you studying?
Business administration.
Gotcha. Where do you go to school?
Uh-oh.
DeVry.
So that night you go to bed at midnight after you've been talking to
But you ain't
Mr.
going to
Proudfoot
school
on
now.
the phone. You put the dogs away in a
The
cage.
DeVry Institute.
And you go to bed. Did you check on Sebastian at that time?
I did not.
Okay. Do you normally?
Not typically. Since he's gotten older, I've not been checking on him as frequently throughout the night because normally he's good to go in his room once he goes to bed.
Earlier you had stated you heard a noise in his room before you went to bed. What time was that?
Around 10 o'clock.
10 p.m. What did it sound like?
Just a thud.
A thud. You stated that you said, look, I don't care what you're doing in there, go to bed. Is that right?
I was on the couch, which is near his room, and I said, Bubba, did you fall out of the bed? And he said, no, ma'am. And I said, well, whatever you're doing in there, knock it off and go to sleep.
So you heard his voice at 10 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any idea what the sound actually was?
I do.
Here's my question. Did he respond? He said, no, ma'am. Oh, okay.
Ma'am. So she said, okay, well, knock it off. Go to bed.
Right. Yeah. Which, I can see that with some parents, yeah.
Do you believe that conversation took place?
Absolutely not. No, ma'am. I'm sorry. He wouldn't have said no, ma'am. He would have been like, yeah, I fell out of bed.
Tell me why you don't believe it took place.
Because it just seemed so scripted. Because, she's like, I heard a thud. Well, a thud is typically associated with a bang or a fall or a head banging on something or your knees. You fall. A thud is a fall. When a body hits the ground, that's a thud. If she had said, I heard some kind of I don't know, crash, bang, boom, and all kinds of nonsense. I went in and looked around and nothing was fine. Said, go to bed. No, that didn't happen. She said, I heard a thud. And then instead of getting up, she just said, did you fall out of bed? What the fuck? What does he fall out of bed a lot? What?
So what are you saying? She should have went in there to see what it was?
Yes. And not only that, but why would you just automatically assume he fell out of bed?
Well, maybe he
Unless,
fell out of bed.
Right.
So Nancy should ask her, did he normally fall out of bed?
But that's what she's insinuating, right? Yeah. So that if it ever, what did he fall down and hit his head, and then she didn't go in and check on him, and went in later and found that he wasn't alive, or what?
Or we're just making up shit to add on to the story.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, if you don't know, you weren't there, right? So her story's likely legit, but I just feel like she's not really saying all of it, she's holding things back.
So what is it that she's holding back? What is it that she's holding back?
I just think, well, when you're trying to remember situations, you don't always recall it as it was, right? Your memory plays tricks on you, especially when you're in a heightened state, when you're, worried or that sort of thing, and your child is missing.
Did you see Doctor's comment? Oh my God.
Well, I'm just saying, you're going to be in a state, right? So you're not going to remember all the things that were said, but it seems so scripted that she remembered exactly those words.
Look at Doctor's comment. I'm dead.
What?
You can't read it. You can't see the comment.
Oh, hang on, let me go down and see.
Can you see it?
Just 1 second, let me go.
Okay. That's funny as hell. Dr. You're a mess.
Oh, Godric, okay. Okay, wait. Yeah, they did give brief answers with NASA. You're right, Lisa. Godric, she can't even say business. Oh Lord.
She can study administration. She sure can. She can study business administration.
In prison. Yeah, she can study school in prison.
Look, I almost said Jody Sue. Damn, I'm tripping. Call Gypsy Rose.
I'm telling you. And then Godric, and then just said they changed their story after every interview, depending on what the public had to say. And you know what? That's what I'm saying. There's information that they didn't that they omitted, and then they added later. You don't always recall the story as it was, because you're in, like I said, a heightened state. Sometimes you forget things and you remember them later. So that's why that story doesn't track. Because if you're not remembering things
after every commentary they're seeing on social media. But that's what a lot of people do who follow social media. They change shit according to what people are gossiping about.
Right, because they're commenting on what's happening and what's being said. But I'm just saying, in terms of that statement, right, going back to your question, do I believe that was the conversation they had? The reasoning behind me thinking no, I think it's bullshit, is because you're not going to remember everything that night. How are you going to remember what was said word for word? Oh, yes, ma'am. And I heard a thud, and I said, now you stop messing around and get to bed. You wouldn't remember that shit. You'd be so upset about your son being missed. You'd be like, oh, I don't know, there was a kerfuffle in there. I told him to go to sleep, and then I went on the couch, and the next thing I know, he's gone. Like, you wouldn't know the word for word. You know what I'm saying? It just...
If you go to trial, you better remember word for word.
Oh, yeah. That's for certain. But I'm just...
You have to give a statement. So this is what I always tell people. Imagine what you hear on the news.
Right.
Imagine what you hear when they come to YouTube, and then imagine what they told the police. Bam.
Right. And it's true. You know, you're not always going to get the full story.
They got 5 different versions running from the police to the TBI to YouTube. See what I'm saying?
And that's the other...
What you told the TBI, what you told the news. With Candace, we already know she didn't gave at least 5 different versions.
Oh Lord, Candace. But here's but yeah, that's another good point to mention is that, you know, as viewers, you have a lot of YouTubers out there that say, oh, well, you know, the police this, police that. Well, police they're not supposed to tell you, like, it's not their job to tell you what's going on in the investigation. That's why it's an investigation. You're not supposed to know all the facts. Oh, they're not doing their job. Yes, they are. If you don't know everything, it's because they are doing their job.
Well,
like, you know what I'm saying?
They can't tell you who they think the suspect is. That's
right.
That everybody knows that's a no-no. They only give you the suspect if indeed they're ready to arrest the person and the suspect isn't available for consultation.
Right, and they have to make sure and they have to make sure everything's in line so that when they do finally arrest who they get as their suspect, they have all of the case. You know, they have the case, because otherwise they could just get released, right? And they have no case. So they have to be very careful with what they say to the public, and sometimes they'll give false information just to trip somebody up, to get them on a lie or technicality, because they know that person, you know.
I remember they did that with the DC shooter. They told people they were looking for a white van, but they never told the public that they were looking for him directly, the man and his son. They just said, if you have information, give us a call. They knew exactly who they were looking for, but they didn't tell the public. See, every law enforcement agency does things differently. Sometimes they'll tell you, yeah, we're looking for this guy. This is his picture. This is who he's with. This is what he's driving. But with the DC shooter, they didn't tell anybody that because they knew this motherfucker was dangerous. He's shooting people. Hell no, I'm not going to tell you that some stupid person might try to go up and try to stop him. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
that's right.
You're looking for. So they knew we're not going to tell the people anything.
That's right. And they're also building a case. So they have to be careful of what they say because, you know. So anyways, and there's certain things by law you can't tell the public either, right? So, I mean, there's just certain. But I don't know. So again, you know, you could have a story that they're understanding, but then as, you know, people, they're likely told by the police too, like, you can't say this, this, and this, but you can say this, this, and this. Or it'll intervene with the investigation and, you know, that kind of thing. And so that, a lot of times that's where sometimes these people get messed up with their stories because they can't keep them straight because they're told not to say certain things and they end up saying them by mistake, and then it comes back to bite them. And
what you heard so far with Nancy Grace, do you believe they had been truthful?
No.
Okay.
I just don't. I don't know. Maybe I hope I'm wrong. You know, I really do. I hope that it's just a situation of like, you know, I remember this specific thing, but I don't remember nothing else.
It's a situation that two people didn't give a fuck about their kid. That's what you're saying?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that it appears as though there was some type of neglect that night.
Okay. Or how about this? Do you believe there was neglect beforehand?
It is possible.
Okay, it is possible.
Do not know.
If he were to go out his window, what would he step on?
Mulch and bushes.
Did you say mulch or mush?
Mulch.
Damn it, Nancy shit.
Mulch. Okay. Got it.
Nancy be trying to trip these people up. She thinks she's slick sometimes.
Is his room on the front of the house or the back of the house?
Front.
Do any of your neighbors ring cams point toward your house? Could they pick that up?
You know they would.
They do. Mm-hmm. It's so dark that they can only see at after it gets so dark at night, they can only see certain things where there's light.
I thought there were the two lights on.
On the opposite
She's
side.
trying to trip her up, see?
No, on the other side of the house.
Okay.
Right.
Can we talk about Sebastian's shoes? Why are you convinced
So I wonder
Sebastian
if
left without
let me
shoes
stop
on?
right there.
Or are you?
I wonder if the floodlights are on the side where the garage is.
That's what I'm saying. I
You
think
can see that
Nancy's
with a doorbell camera. The garage.
right.
Listen, when you drive down the street, from what I've seen on somebody driving, with somebody's house directly in front of that house, you would be able to see the driveway and the garage and the floodlights.
Right. So I think Nancy was trying to trip her up there, but the floodlights, because she said earlier the floodlights were off. So I think she was trying to trip her up to say, oh no, the floodlights were on the front of the house. Like, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. But she didn't. She said no.
That came about is because all of his shoes are accounted for inside the house still.
Are you positive?
I'm positive.
How do you know what clothes he was wearing?
All his shoes are counted for.
The clothes that we described are the ones that when he went to bed.
That morning, you woke up at 6 o'clock. Is that the normal time you wake up?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a heavy sleeper?
Off and on.
Do you take any medication at night that would make you sleep?
Mm.
No, ma'am.
But you heard nothing.
I did not know.
So we know he is alive and well at 10 p.m. At 6 a.m. He's gone. You say he's never left before. Is that right?
Correct. He's never run off before.
And can I confirm, where was his bio dad
He didn't.
at
he
the
didn't,
time he went missing?
He didn't run off.
I believe he was at work in Nashville.
But you're saying he went to bed, so why would he run away?
Had there been any family argument or altercation prior to him going missing?
No, ma'am.
I think that's a lie.
And Mr. Proudfoot, when did you leave town?
Early February.
So you had been gone.
I'm going to read Gottfried's comment. Chris even said in the interview, no matter what, if somebody was on the front door, the camera across the street would have picked it up. Well, that's the reason why they're saying they don't have nothing of the child coming or going.
Right.
That's why people got to pay attention to what law enforcement is saying. They're telling you what you need to know. It's just people don't want to accept what they're saying.
That's right.
And also, they're telling you it's nothing.
Yeah. And also his bedroom was in the front of the house. So if he was crawling out his room, somebody, you know what I mean? So
that's what I'm trying to make people understand. You got a figure going to the trash can, but you ain't got nobody coming out to walk out the door, and then he ain't got no shoes on. Then make it make sense. Then how the hell he get out the house?
Just vanished.
You're for sure he went out the front, but you ain't for sure he could have went out the back.
Right.
Why would you assume he went out the front?
Right.
See, I always tell you have to pay attention to what people are saying.
Exactly.
How are you adamant that's the door he would have gone out of?
See, unless you've seen him go, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And those are things you gotta pay attention to, or you're lying.
Or you're lying.
Right. And that's
it. Say that you know for sure which door a person went out of. If you're trying to say that I think they left, then you can't say which door they went out of. You don't know which door they went out of. If you don't know.
That's exactly like sometimes, you hear those people, oh, well, I was the last person to see him before, he went missing. Well, how do you know you were the last person to see him unless you were the one when you know what I mean? Like, that's the...
You saw him walk out the door, or he was in your company, or you were in the room, y'all were in the front room talking, or you went by the bedroom, you peeped in. That's you can only word it that way. Well, I saw him at this time, but you don't know what they did.
What door? That's right.
They got up, went and stepped outside, smoked a cigarette. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to say, well, I saw him last at 10:30. He was in his room, or they were on the couch watching television.
Yeah.
That's all you can speak of. But she's adamant he went out with no shoes. And see, I question all of that. The no shoes.
So do I.
No shoes are accounted for. The clothes he had on. Okay, he wore the clothes that he went to bed in. See, my thing is, like I had said about the house the other night, because I was going off on that live. I said it. I would have checked everything. Seth, I would have pulled up mattresses. I'm going through the dresser drawers, the closet. I want to see. If she told me, yeah, he went to bed in a black shirt and black pants, you know what I'm doing? I'm going in the dresser drawer. I want to see.
What's missing?
Check to make sure them pants and shirt ain't sitting up here in the closet, dirty clothes, or the fucking washing machine or dryer.
Me too.
Or the trash bin. I'm checking everything because the
Me too.
It's for every detail. You forget stuff when it's foul play.
That's right.
The only time it's ridiculous usually if you've planned that shit in advance.
Yeah, and you skip up when you do because you say shit like that. Oh, he would have gone out the front door. Why? Like you say, how do you know?
Yeah, because they're riding that train.
Right.
It's not logical.
They're
you
following.
He went out the front door because that's the door he went to go out of school and this and that. But
right.
It's close to his room, so maybe that's why she's saying that. If it's true.
Right, that fits the narrative.
That's closest to his room.
Right. Right.
But you still don't have proof.
That's
he
right.
went out that door.
That's right.
For all we know, he could have climbed out the window. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, still, it's the front. It faces the front of the house, so it would have got picked up.
Have you visited home since you left?
Look, she's quiet.
From when I initially left.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I came home February 26th. The morning I was told that he was missing.
Oh, him. Okay.
From the time that you left for the job in Memphis to February 26th, did you visit the home?
Yes, ma'am.
When?
I don't know it, Akira.
I was home. I can't give exact dates. Law enforcement has told me not to provide exact dates, but I had been home multiple times.
Why? Why not?
To February. And then
let's stop there.
I left early February.
Let's talk about the garage.
What's the big deal with saying the exact dates of when you went home?
I think that Nancy wants to like kind of make it known that like he was there or he wasn't there that night.
I'm saying, why would the police tell him not to give exact dates of when he came home to visit home?
Oh yeah, well, likely because the police are investigating perhaps when he was there and when he wasn't there, and maybe it was an ongoing investigation before he was cleared. Huh? Well, they had to clear him as a suspect.
What's the big deal about giving a fucking date of when you were last home?
Well, because then it would clear him whether or not he had Sebastian in his care or he left with Sebastian. Then they could check ring cams on the days he was there.
You're not listening. The police said, he just said, the police told me not to give the exact date.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So the police could have been actively investigating him at the time to clear him, so he couldn't have spoke on it at that point in time.
Okay. Do you know this is a month out or so when he did the Nancy Grace interview? So whatever you'd have told the police should be null and void at that point.
Yeah, you got a point there. That's weird, right?
Yeah, this ain't day 2 you would talk to Nancy Grace.
Yeah, you got that right.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to say, what's the big deal with giving a date?
Maybe they were still trying to collaborate. Maybe they were still trying to collaborate their stories.
This was a month in when Nancy Grace interviewed him. So I'm trying to see, well, what's the big deal? And you can't give the date of when you were last home. If you told the police, I was here 2 weeks ago, and you give the date and the time, and what's the big deal? And saying it on the Nancy Grace show.
Oh, okay. Akira says there was an open CPS case, and people are saying that CP was not to be in the home because of what Sebastian accused him of allegedly. Oh, yes, I had heard that too. That he was not. Yeah, okay. So there was some type of weird
we never told
thing.
him he couldn't anything, but Chris acts like they told him not to say anything. He lies. They cannot give legal advice. That's the point I want everybody to always remember about true crime. I said this so many times with the Summer Wells case, and it still fly over their fucking head even today. You've seen the woman give different versions pertaining to the day Summer went missing, okay?
Right.
Why the fuck are you still wanting to listen to what somebody got to say, Pookie said and told me not to say, when common sense will tell you, you don't know what they told police, TBI. People will tell one person one version and then go to the news and YouTube and tell them a different version. Because I've seen that done with Summer Wells. Her parent, her mother, she gave different versions. That's why when she went to the news, the first thing she started talking about was coyote and bears. That lady didn't about no cowardice and bears. What are you talking about?
Right.
You're supposed to be telling us what happened to your kid. You mentioning that because you know you slipped up and told that shit on that dispatch call about property. See, that's what I be trying to make people understand. What I tell the news may not be what I told the police. It's obvious. So I can get on the news and say, I can get on Nancy Grace and say, oh, police told me not to say anything. They know you're never going to know that. The police has to come back and say, that's not what I said. See what I'm saying?
Right. And so then in logic dictates then they would not be, so for him making that statement. I can tell you
anything about a polygraph. I can tell you anything about what really happened. I could make up anything I want because I know certain things the police is not going to confirm to you, the nosy body.
Okay.
So I can say any damn thing on YouTube and Nancy Grace because I know the police ain't going to come back and say, yeah, he said this. Yeah, no, that's not true. Yeah, that ain't true. Yeah, see what I'm saying?
Right, but unless they are using that against him unless they are trying to collaborate his work schedule with his life schedule and in order to clear him as a suspect, then they probably said, listen, don't talk about this in social media if you don't want to jeopardize.
Right. Okay. So think about what you just said, and then you're sitting up here talking to Nancy Grace. I'll let this sit right there.
Right. Okay. Ding, ding, ding. You got me. You got me.
Yeah. You know, Queen don't come back quick.
Oh, Lord.
It don't make no sense. That's why I told you can't believe nothing the people are saying.
It's so very true.
You gotta sit here and tell me what the police told you not to do, but yet you talking to Nancy fucking Grace and you've been on YouTube talking to every fucking hillbilly ass YouTuber.
Dick and Harry. Yeah, I know.
You know, you didn't talk to Pookie, Ray, Susie Mae, but the police said, don't tell them what day you was. We went back to your house, but you've been on YouTube like you selling fucking lemonade.
Right.
Because I can tell you what I want you to know. My father used to say that. I tell you what I want you to know.
Right.
Don't
right.
The version that I give you. Because what I always tell you, everything's a version until it can be proven or disproven.
That's the truth right there. That is the truth.
That's why I tell people, why do you all get so upset when you watch the news? You want to argue about what the news don't know nothing. They only know what somebody told them.
That's right. It's just a media message.
Yeah.
It's not.
And when you watch a story play out on the news, when somebody goes missing or killed, you'll see that story replayed in identical fashion on
every channel
or article. Because that's all they got.
Yeah.
It don't change until somebody else starts coming out talking.
Right. And it's a narrative that they're given as well. Sometimes they don't.
But it's the narrative that somebody, that's all I can get from you.
Right.
I can't, make up stuff. I can, but I'm just saying, if they say, oh, Pookie got shot on the 15th, there were no witnesses, then that's the only way you could take it.
Yeah. No, you're right.
People get so disgusted. Oh, I don't think that's the truth. And, oh, that ain't what they said. And you don't know no more than what the fuck the news knows. You don't know. Just like the police is the same thing. They don't know no more than what somebody has told them and what they can prove.
100%.
Yeah, because people will tell you any damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nobody's going to sit on TV and tell you, oh, yeah, I killed my kid.
No, but that's right.
Who the fuck's going to do that? You're not going to tell you're not going to tell you killed your kid. You're not going to tell Nancy Grace you killed your kid. You're not going to tell somebody, oh, yeah, for 6 months I've been trying to plan a way to get rid of this kid.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to do that. They're only going to do that when you put that evidence on the table and say, this is what we got. We think, hey, you killed your kid. Then you could either go ahead and confess, or you're still going to be saying, no, it wasn't me. See what I'm saying?
Right. But still going back to Chris's statement, though, like, why then would he say, oh, the police told me not to talk about my dates? Is that a full-faced lie?
I don't know.
Right. We don't know.
Because maybe he has not been proven factual the dates that he's given when he came home. Maybe there was some discrepancies in the date.
Right.
And he's already been caught lying already.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they already found out he had been back, but they feel like nobody else is going to know because the police ain't going to tell that because it's an investigation.
Right.
Open investigation.
Open
so
investigation.
I know the police ain't ready to say, oh, yeah, we know for sure the husband did slip back the day before. See what I'm saying?
Right.
Or he was there that day.
Right.
So they're not going to tell us that. So he can say, yeah, I know I better not say nothing because they already found out I've been back.
Right. When I shouldn't have been.
Bingo card.
Because he was supposed to be living in that trailer away from Sebastian at that point in time. Yeah, I got you.
Well, who's to say that he wasn't there Sunday?
Right. That's what I'm saying, right?
Because when you think logically, why would he not be there?
Right.
Why would he logically not be home on a Sunday? The job site's only 3 hours away. He don't have to be to work until that early Monday morning. Why would he not be at his own house on Sunday? I tell people to think about the common sense of it all.
Well, because of that situation, because, well.
Yeah, but you didn't know all that in the beginning.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
That's what I'm saying. So logically, I would say to myself, hearing the shit play out the first day, week 1, month 1, why would this man not be at his house on a fucking Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning? You're only 3 hours away. Come on, do the math.
Right.
Add up.
Yeah, and that's another point
like
too.
Fucking 7-10 hours away in fucking Boulder, Colorado, working.
Right.
You know, come on. What the fuck is 3 hours? 3+ hours.
Right. He could have just snuck in and snuck out regardless. But like, that's a good point. Shazabanda, whatever, because I like your name, but I can't say it. They said, Queen, Foxy, and Chat, he said, from UK, hope everything.
I see that black hooded top, black pants, 3 weeks
right.
later.
So at first it was pajamas, and then it was a hooded top. So like their stories kept changing.
If I was Seth, can't go back. I don't know what he did in his room, what he looked for. I would have asked her complete, what did my baby have on? What did he have going to bed? See, this is what people don't understand about true crime. People are not expecting random ass people to be asking them fucking questions.
Right.
You know the police is going to ask, but she wouldn't be prepared for the father to be, like a typewriter. But like I told people live the other night, it couldn't be me. I'd have grilled Katie would have got grilled so bad, she'd have broke down and told the truth if she had something to fucking do. I'd have grilled that. I'm going to tell you something. I'd have grilled her till she broke fucking down kneecap to the floor. Because I'd have been on her ass, white on rice.
Yeah.
I'm going through everything. Every room, except for their bedroom. I'm going in the bathroom, this, that, laundry room, laundry baskets, flipping the mattress, window sills, outside the house, garbage cans. I'm looking at every fucking thing. While y'all entertaining your little fucking friends, I'm walking around, I'm looking, I'm checking window sills, I'm checking windows. I'm checking every fucking thing. I'm walking in everybody's backyard. You want to run up and ask me what I'm doing? I'm going to tell you. I'm looking for my fucking kid. I'm looking for my son. That's what the fuck I'm doing.
Yes.
You see my kid. You talk to my kid. You know anything about them two over there? Hell yeah, I'm walking that beat like I'm a cop.
That's right. Same.
And just like I said in the live the other night, guess what? I got a duffel bag. They want to know where you sleeping. In your house. I'm sleeping in your house.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta talk to Chris. Call him. I'll call him for you. I'm sleeping here until I figure out where the fuck my kid is.
That's the truth, girl. And you know what? It's like this. I would have been next to my neighbor's door too, and I would have been knocking on everybody, and I would have been like, call the police. I don't give a fuck. I'm looking for my son. Like, he is missing, and if you have that cold of a heart, I'm going through your backyard. I'm going through your garden. I'm going through your garbage. I'm going through everything. I would too. I would be looking. Yeah, I would leave no stone unturned.
I'm grilling her.
I'm
grilling her.
Yes.
And that other Teletubby, I'm grilling his big ass too.
Teletubby.
Fuck, it's my child. Fuck.
We're bad. We're getting bad.
I'd be hell on wheels. I'm sitting outside. If you tell me I can't stay in your house, I'm sitting outside your house. I'm in my car with a pillow. Every fucking thing. I'm out here. I'm telling the neighbors I'm out here. Here's my phone number. You call me directly with anything you know, what you heard. I'm on it.
Yes. See,
let me tell you something. When people think they know you, they'll throw anything
know you.
out. You understand what I'm saying?
They don't.
You got to give people the unexpected.
That's right.
You got to give them the unexpected. Because that's not what they're looking for. They don't think
No.
a person's going to get jiggy. You understand? Because if Seth is known to be a mild-mannered person, he don't really say much. If he had came out motherfucking fighting with boxing gloves on, everybody would have been tiptoeing around his ass. They'd have been scared to say 2 words to him.
Right.
Maybe that's what the fuck he should have done. He should have came out motherfucking with gloves on. I want to know what my kid is. You know, he had to come in there gangster style. You feel me? Where's my fucking kid, lady?
Yeah.
She would have been prepared for that.
Right.
Well, hold on a minute. Hold on? You know, all that stuttering and shit. Oh, well, wait a minute. Now, ain't no wait a minute. Where the fuck is my kid? I want to know the fuck my kid is.
Right. I'm telling you.
I don't care if he didn't talk, he didn't cuss. I done went at her. Where is my kid, lady? I want to know, what did y'all do yesterday? Where did y'all go? What was his move? How was he feeling? He didn't want to stay here anyway. What the fuck is going on? I'd have got gangster with her ass. I wouldn't give a fuck. She start crying. I don't fucking care. I apologize later.
Same. I would have too.
I apologize later.
Yeah.
Not tiptoeing around you. I want my fucking kid.
Mm-hmm.
See,
the element of surprise.
People treat you according to how you act with them.
That's right.
If you don't get jiggy, they don't expect you to get jiggy.
No. And that's what I mean. They were just so like placid about it. Like I was like, really?
She better glad she hadn't had no ghetto ass black ass baby daddy. He would have grabbed that motherfucker by her collar and hemmed her ass up.
He would have been in jail too, 48 hours.
It don't matter. It won't matter. I'm about to make your ass talk.
Me too. I would go to jail just to see where my
collar. Where the fuck is my kid?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on. Just hold on a minute. No, we ain't holding on nothing. Where's my kid? Huh. What you talking about, Willis?
But the other thing that struck me too was when Nancy Grace asked her, like, are you a heavy sleeper? And she's like, off and on. In other words, like, okay, so I can use this for an excuse down the road if I need to. I'm going to say off and on. Like, she was very calculated with her answers.
Man, I'm going to say this. Like I said in the last live the other night, it couldn't have been Queen. That's all I'm going to say. It could not have been I. Let me tell you something. The way they've acted, coming to YouTube, all that chitter chatter shit. Oh, I'd had you broke down. Do you hear what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, I do.
I'd had your ass broke all the fucking way down. You wouldn't have thought of YouTube. The last thing you would have ever thought about was coming to fucking YouTube to talk about mine.
Yeah.
Because the shit is ridiculous. 5 months in, there's nothing about this kid. This is crazy as hell.
And there's no clues, no nothing. They took dogs out there and they didn't even pick up a scent. Yeah, explain that too. Huh?
Because I'm going to say it one more time. The police said we don't have no surveillance of the child.
Right. So
what you got to ask yourself is the obvious. Hell, did he even make it home from the restaurant? Checkmate.
Mm-hmm.
You don't got no surveillance, and how the hell I know he made it home?
That's what I thought too.
Yeah. You can't prove he got out of a car, he walked into a door, then you can't say he made it home.
Right.
Because everything is banking on Katie Proudfoot's version. Then that version ain't hitting on shit. That's her version. What is the truth? What is the actual truth?
Oh my God.
Home or not?
Oh my God, that's another thing. Okay, so Shazabanda said, okay, so something about them saying that the back door was blocked, and that's why he wouldn't have gone out that door. And I remember that, and I remember when that was said, the first thing I remembered was Summer Wells. Their basement back door had the couch in front of it, so there's no way she could have gone out that way. How weird was that? That rubbed me the wrong way. I was like, really?
And why would somebody have their back door locked when you got
strange connection?
A place where you can sit and barbecue and mingle.
Yeah, it just seemed odd. Like, I don't know.
So you don't know what's the truth. That's my point.
Yeah, nobody does.
I bet you it ain't blocked now.
No, we can speculate all we like, but I mean, you got to follow the facts. The facts are
See, I don't listen at nothing that they have to say. That's one thing I did not do in this case. I did not run and listen to the Proudfoot's interviews on different people's channels because I just don't rock like that. Once I get a feeling that you're not truthful, I don't need to go watch you on nobody's channel. That ain't my type of hype. I don't do that. Other people are involved with that shit. I'm not. Because once I get a feeling that you're deceptive, I don't need to go listen that you give an interview on somebody's fucking network or you want to go here and talk to this person on the news. For what? I watched the Nancy Grace, of course. I watched that. But don't you find it interesting? They have yet to talk to the news. They have yet to publicly search. They have yet to talk about doing private searches. So they're telling me everything I need to know. I don't need to go sit and watch no fucking 3-4 hour live stream of some people who I don't even believe is telling the truth. For what?
Yeah.
So a lot of people get entertained like that. That's not my type of entertainment.
Right. Well, I watch it just for the simple fact of like maybe there's something that is said or slips out or, but I know what you're saying. It's a lot of nonsense, really. A lot of fluff.
How long can you listen to it? You done went week for week, month for month, month for month. Now they done disappeared. See where I'm going? Why you stop talking now?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't really know what's going on behind the scenes with law enforcement. Them folks probably paid them folks a visit, a call. Hey, come back in. We need to holler at you one more time. They're not going to tell you that on the live stream. Oh, yeah, they just called us yesterday. They told us to come back down. They had something they want to talk to us about. If it went nefarious, if it went negative, they ain't about to tell that on the live stream.
No.
They think we killed this kid.
Yeah. We're a suspect. We're being investigated. No one's going to admit that. But they do. All parents are always investigated when a missing child goes missing. They always say
have to investigate it. That's where the child was.
Right. They have to.
Whoever last had the child, of course I'm going to ask you questions. You're the one reporting the missing. So I want to know what was going on. What was the attitude? Did anybody have a fight, argument, disagreement? What did he eat? What time did he get up? Where all did you go? Who was around him? Was anybody else at the house? Anybody else staying in your house? You're supposed to ask all those questions.
That's right. And then once the parents are cleared, then they move on to an external source, right? So, I mean, logic dictates that, likely they were cleared, but that doesn't mean that there might be information later that comes up.
Seth already told that. Nobody's cleared.
Yeah. So there you go.
So that should tell you something right there. 4 months in, what ain't nobody cleared, that tells you a whole lot.
If he's being honest.
I'm talking about
we don't know.
I'm talking about Seth.
Yeah, but we don't know if he's being honest.
But he's talking about himself in there.
Doesn't matter.
He said, ain't nobody been cleared. Why would I want to tell you all that? That's not something I want to tell you. And I'm one of the parents.
Well, it would be if you want to place the blame on the other two parents, even if it did insinuate you.
Said none of us.
I know. He's implicating himself in that statement, but what I'm saying is if everybody's looking at them, I don't think he's going to care if it implicates himself as long as it takes the direction off of him. That's the only reason why I can see him saying it.
But you got people that think that he could be involved as well, so how's that?
That's what I'm saying. There are people that believe that, yeah.
So did you ever think that about Seth?
Listen, I'm going to lie if I say that I didn't entertain the thought, only because it was new. I didn't know who these people were. I was like, why is this guy on every friggin' channel? Every time I turn the television on, he's on somebody else's channel, running his mouth about something. It seemed weird. But I don't know. I think his dedication, I don't know. Now, I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of his recent interviews and all that, but in the beginning, after a while, I thought, no, I don't think that he's involved. I think that maybe there was an altercation with him and Katie and this Chris fella and, whatever.
I'm talking about Seth.
If he was, maybe he stole him, but no, because he's everywhere. So that doesn't make any sense.
Did you not hear what I just asked you? I said, did you believe Seth was involved?
That's what I'm saying. I'm answering that.
So you thought Seth was involved because he's the only one talking?
No. In the beginning, I questioned all three, just objectively, right? I'm not being any type of way, but I just, objectively questioned all three. Yeah, of course.
So where is your mind now?
My mind now, it's so confused. I don't know what the hell to think about this case. It's crazy. They're all saying different stories. Seth is putting his son's his stuff on Front Street. I don't like that. I don't like how they're disrespecting.
What is it? Don't sugarcoat it. You don't like what that he's put on Front Street?
Okay, the fact that he mentioned specific situations with
like a few years ago in California.
Yeah, like one moment he's smart, next minute he's not so smart. One minute he's, completely competent, the next minute he's got a weird diaper. Like these stories just like if you
Well, you weren't confident. You being a confident chess player has nothing to do with wearing a diaper.
I know that, but
unless if you have some type of complications from his disability or he's frightened, that don't have anything to do with me being competent playing chess or playing a video game. If my bowels run off, then my bowels run off.
Yeah, I guess so.
You can't control your bowels if they go off. I can be confident right now, but if my bowels go off, what control do I have over that?
Right, but if you're claiming that the boy could play chess and beat the adults, then that's suggesting that he's got a high level of intellect, which then suggests or dictates to a highly, savant-like neurodivergent. Okay.
They said he had some type of issue with his brain situation that could affect his bowels. See, I don't know because I don't know anything about all that.
Yeah, I don't know. Every story is separate. Every kid's different. Every person, has their own.
Yeah, well, that's just like right now. If you have incontinence with urine, okay?
Yes.
You can be a very confident person, but internally, you don't have no control over internally.
No, you don't. But what I'm just suggesting is why would he then involuntarily like that's something you wouldn't want to share about your child just for the simple fact of protecting an integrity of embarrassment. Like if when your child comes home, you don't want all this out there, and you know what I mean? Like just the embarrassing parts about him, like nobody needed to know that. Like why would you need to know he had incontinence or that he wet the bed or it just seemed odd. I don't know. That's just me. Like I would have put factual information out there that people needed to know to find my kid. What he was wearing, what's his personality like, what foods is he like?
So you don't like the stuff that Seth has said about the boy, personal stuff with the diaper?
Yes. Yes.
But you got to remember that the diaper stuff came out first from Chris and Katie.
Well, that's what I mean. Like all three.
Somebody probably asked them that.
All three of them.
Somebody probably asked Seth about it because they heard it from Chris. Think about it. I wouldn't ask you about it if I hadn't heard it from somebody else first.
Right.
I don't think Seth probably would have mentioned that, but it came out from Chris. Remember, a while back he said, "Oh, the boy was at the school, kids were making fun of him." Nobody knew that. If it's true, I don't even know if it's true or not.
Right, but what I'm saying is no matter who brought it up first, just from Seth's perspective, he could have said, "Listen, out of respect for my son, I don't want to talk on the matter."
Oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah. But he didn't, and so then my opinion is because he didn't do that, he's no better than Chris.
What was repeated by Chris,
right? Then he's no better than Chris in that particular situation. Okay. So I did consider them all, and now I just don't know. Honestly,
what do you feel about him mentioning about the boy being touched inappropriately? You think that should have been held secret?
I didn't feel it was appropriate. However, if it was going to help the case, I would have told the police, not the public. That's just me.
Well, hopefully the police knows.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, I'm not suggesting that I think these people did any harm to this child. I'm just saying from an investigative perspective, if I was an investigator, that's how my mind was going, because that's how I look at these cases. I don't go in and say, oh, I'm going to, hang this guy because I think he's completely 100% guilty. I don't know all the facts. I'm trying to stay very objective with all these cases. But when things don't add up in the beginning, like the comments and the statements and the, interviews and the all this stuff doesn't, and then the stories changing and the lies every time. It's just kind of like, Christ, why? Something is not right here. And so again, it gives me Summer Wells vibes. And I don't know.
Well, Well, let's look at the facts. The child didn't go anywhere outside of the home unless he went somewhere with his mother. He didn't have friends coming over. He didn't go with other friends. He didn't hang with anybody from school or the neighborhood. So the child had a lonely life. How much video games can a child play at his house, father's house? Allegedly, he wasn't on social media at the Proudfoot's house, but he knows how to work social media from being at his father's house. So my thing is, he had a lonely life to me, in my opinion.
Right.
But that's enough to make anybody want to scream, holler, act out. Hell, might want to run away. I don't know.
Right.
I'm judging things according to the behavior of the parents because that's all I have.
Correct. Same.
I don't have nothing but what they have exhibited.
Right.
Now, exactly I just feel like these people know more than what they're saying.
That's how I feel too.
Especially with the timeline of now 5 months.
Yeah, that's exactly. Like, why?
So do you believe that these parents, the Proudfoots, are involved in the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers?
I think there's a strong possibility that they know what happened. And there's a strong possibility that they don't. I don't know. It's hard to say. I know, but what I do know is that they're not being completely honest. And something's not being transparent. It's just not tracking.
How do you feel about Faith coming down here to see them to Tennessee?
Okay, so I don't know a whole lot about the daughter. That's one thing about this story.
Well, her mother came out and gave her version of how her relationship with Chris. It wasn't great.
Okay.
She came to Tennessee. They tried to take her baby. She had to fight for her child. She went back. They've been rambling, on and on between themselves. Out of town. He's been trying to control her and what she does with her child, blah, blah, blah. And the judge ordered the child to come here to Tennessee to visit. So allegedly, there are pictures of her out in public with the little girl in a restaurant, so on and so forth. There you have it.
So, is there insinuation out there that this girl was home that night with the mom? Is that what's being said now? That like maybe
the child has touched down on Tennessee soil. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know too much about it. I only know what you just said. So
nothing out the loop. You didn't know that little girl been here either. My God, you didn't know the little girl been here.
No, like I said, I've been out for a while. The last live I caught was when they did the lantern ceremony on the bridge.
Yeah, it's been a whole lot saying, honey. Stuff with the other YouTuber that he was friends with, and they then slept with the same woman. Yeah, you'd have missed a whole lot. Just a bunch of damn nonsense.
Wait, they slept with the same woman?
It
doesn't start with a T, does it? Oh, dear God, please don't tell me that. Oh, Lord, help me.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, help me.
Yes, he's moved to Tennessee. So if you knew that, then you must know more.
No, that's it.
So do you know about them having a vigil at the high school?
No.
But you know about him being cool with a certain YouTuber?
Yeah.
Well, that YouTuber has moved to Tennessee, and he's messing around with a woman that allegedly was helping Seth search, and allegedly Seth had a relationship with her. Yeah, it's been a big mess. And then his girlfriend came out to tell her side. She's been on my panel to tell what went on at his house because he left her house and took stuff from the house, left it a mess. Yeah, it's been a whole lot going on. It's hard to recap all that.
Oh, Lord, have mercy. I've missed a lot. Oh, dear Lord. Oh, my gosh. JH says, hey, Queen, is there a number to talk story with you offline?
Talk what? Talk story. I really don't like talking about stuff offline.
Yeah.
I prefer to keep it, you know what I'm saying? On on the
Public
panel
forum,
or the
protect
page.
yourself.
Let
Yeah.
you all talk about it. Yeah, because I would like to keep the IG for really my personal space and letting people see what I'm doing or not doing. So I really don't post regular to IG like I used to. But what's the problem, Jake? What you trying to say?
Sorry for the shuffling. I was eating a couple of nuts. Shanda Banda said, well, Smoke said he had him phoning in one night pretending to be that Rick guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I said she's missed a lot. It's hard to recap all the stuff that's going
Yeah,
on.
but I know who that is. I know who
3-4
you're
months
referring
since
to
she's been
when.
gone.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back now.
A
See,
lot.
damn,
There's
I
like
have
there's
missed.
gonna be thousands of videos to watch. With all that T-Rex.
Oh God, I don't have time for all that. Just see, that's why I gotta come to you,
you
Bo.
the one checked out.
That's why I came to you to get all the deets.
It's hard to recap every little thing that's happened since then with the panel hopping, jumping, and all that stuff.
They did do a lot of that.
That guy and the visual. He came down here, took a picture of Seth in a recliner, sleep. There's been a lot of grimy shit that's been went on.
Clicks and views, eh?
Yeah, that's all it's been about.
I still can't get over he's got his own YouTube channel. That speaks volumes.
Wow.
Because
other people did it, then they do it with somewhere else. Everybody over there went and got a YouTube channel.
Yeah, but that was after she went missing for years.
Mary went and got one. Mary went and got one. You ain't stepped up to try to take the children, help with the children, but you go get a YouTube channel. Then next thing you know, the Wells, they get a YouTube channel. So what?
Yeah.
Jody Swoosh went and got her a YouTube channel.
True enough.
And Boy H's father, he because he already had a YouTube channel, but he started talking more about the case. It's all bullshit.
Maddie's dirty.
So why does it bother you that Seth has a YouTube channel?
Well, it's only been 5 months.
Well, he shares things about his child on there. He's not just he don't really go deep into the case or his opinions about,
Okay, let me ask you something. How do you feel about that?
Let me finish. He shares stories about his child. He shows pictures. He shows videos of the little boy. He showed like memorable moments with his kid. He couldn't do that as a regular person unless except for through the news. And and they ain't I guess asked, hey, show us videos, show us pictures of your kid.
Okay, well that's all right then, I guess.
So he can do that on his YouTube channel.
Yeah, why not?
People about a search, this, that, and the other. And I haven't seen him, going live often because I don't really be over there looking. So, I just know he went live on the child's anniversary.
So, okay, well, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about him having a YouTube channel? Do you feel it's very similar to the Wells?
I ain't really focused on it.
No, neither of us are now. But I mean, I think of it, it's if it's in a positive way, then sure, I guess there's nothing wrong with it. I don't know. I just find it odd. Like I'd be out there still worried and searching. I wouldn't have time to be looking through photos and sharing my thoughts. I'd be like looking for my child. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you should know at some point.
I know, but I'm not giving up after 5 months.
You can't search all day and night because you can't search at night. So I don't see. I'm not making a big deal about him sharing pictures and stuff of his kids.
No, me neither. That's fine.
I mean, that's just not a big deal to me.
If it's his downtime, yeah, so, you're right.
Everybody's gonna look at it their own way. Why he's on YouTube.
But if it is just to keep
positive.
Yeah, and I mean, if it is positive, he's just trying to keep the story out there, keep his memory alive, keep people looking.
Well, that's what he said on the live.
Yeah,
that's what I want. Is that you should talk about my child wherever you are, because the information is key. It is vital that you continue to talk about Sebastian or any missing person or any missing child. You spread the word to people. Hey, have you heard of this story? Hey, I talk about him all the time here in Knoxville. I'm always talking to somebody like, hey, you know about that kid missing over Middle Tennessee? And what do you think I hear in return? No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my Lord.
And we're in the same damn state. Now you know this kid's missing.
Well, I know I share everything I learn on, true crime channels as much as I can with my Facebook page or whatever, just because, a lot of times these kids cross the borders and, people may recognize their face and that kind of thing. But I don't have a true crime channel. But if that's something that he's trying to do to keep the memory and his, that I can get behind that. There's nothing wrong with it. Yeah. Now, if he was up there, using it as a platform to talk shit about, that's different. Like, But
what about the Proudfoots?
Yeah. Yeah.
Shabanza, what are you talking about?
Yeah. What do you mean goes
You talking
against
about
your?
the stepdad? Dirty, disgusting stepdad for clicks and views. Well, I'm surprised they didn't have a YouTube channel as much as they stay on YouTube. I'm surprised they didn't have one before Seth got one.
Yeah, and I mean, if
I don't see
all,
how they think that they have been helpful. That's what bothered me. Is that
right?
how is it that you think you've been helpful? You haven't. Yeah, you're giving us an inside look to certain things, but it's grimy as hell. No, the
Seth, you mean?
Proudfoots. I don't see how they.
Yeah, no, I know. I was just gonna say, that's so funny to the words right out of my mouth. I was just gonna say, like, out of all three of them, I feel like Seth is the most compassionate and has the most, like, sincerity about the situation, versus the other two are just so kind of like passive aggressive. But I don't know. It's just this weird vibe with them too.
They checked
so
out.
I don't know. They checked out. Yeah.
That's my thought process pertaining to them. They've checked
I
out.
would have
That
to
would lead me to believe if you've checked out as soon as the child went missing, then you were checked out when he was living or visible. Because how do you just check out when somebody's missing? That don't make no sense.
Okay. Lisa said, Foxy, a creator unsupervised maniacs dropped the whole hoax call receipts from the blah, blah, blah. You haven't missed much. Creators attacking one another. It's turned me off a lot of channels. Yeah, you know what? Same girl. I think that's why I kind of dipped out for a while, was because of Sebastian Rogers, to be honest. Like,
yeah, I told you I don't mention other people's names in the chat. Causes problems.
Oh, I didn't know that was the creator. I'm sorry. I just thought it was like a quotation.
I told her that earlier. Don't mention nobody's name in here.
No, okay.
Because you mentioned that one name, that's nothing compared to all the other trash that's had the been in cahoots with the Proudfoots and had them on their channel.
Wow.
You name one, you might as well name them all. They all garbage to me.
I guess. Okay, so I think the reason why I had a little bit of like sus on Seth too is when he teamed up with that Tony guy, because like I thought he had like a really bad rep for something some type of like thing he did before. I don't know what that's about. I can't recall it now. I don't know. It was just something shady that was done, and I can't recall what exactly it was right now. But I remember
the situation with the PIs and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I think that was really messy.
Leaking the phone call and all that nonsense.
Yeah.
With Trevor and all that mess.
Yeah. And I'm just like,
So you remember all of that?
Well, I remember. Okay, so when Tony came on the scene is when I kind of started dipping out. So I don't know what happened after Tony joined, I guess, basically. But I do recall like bits and pieces being said in passing by, friends of mine on different channels that are creators, but I didn't really like follow the, I haven't been involved on YouTube.
So you're friends with some creators?
Yeah, I'm a creator myself.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, I have a tarot channel card, a tarot card channel, tarot cards. I do tarot cards.
What's it
called? Foxfire Tarot.
Foxfire Tarot. So, and you're based out of Canada?
Yes. So
what does your tarot cards tell you?
Oh, I just do people's readings. I don't do true crime readings. I refuse to do that. I don't go there. But I will say this much.
Are you friends with people who talk about Sebastian Rogers?
Well, just in the aspect that like the case is a sad situation, that they wish that it wouldn't got such a crazy circus, and that
No, I'm saying, are you friends with creators that talk about the case?
Oh, have mentioned it in passing? Yes, brought it up and then dropped it. Good people. They're not, I don't want to drop names or anything, but like they're I have a couple of female creators that are really good at what they do. Their integrity is, I respect them, and they're not massive, but they're a good size, But yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised you wouldn't have done no reading on this. That I'm confused. Why not? Why not? Why not do a reading? Hello? Hello, hello, hello. Well, I guess she fell off. Okay. Tony's private bits was real. Sets a grown man choose who and when to spend his time with. He was blank on, turned inside out, the worst time ever. Anybody could be going through it. Sickened me. I didn't get into all that stuff with Tony, and that some people say that was fake. I don't know if I believe all that. No idea. Lisa, how can you say what's fake or not? I mean, I briefly watched it. How can you say if it was real or not? I'm just curious. Well, as soon as I started asking questions about YouTube, then she falls off. Wonder why. Typical. She's friends with YouTubers. They're great people. They don't got a big following. Yeah. Everybody loves to come over here to this platform for some weird reason. Imagine that. Well, my prayers is that something comes about, something of truth comes about this child. I pray seriously that the truth is revealed, whatever that truth may be. And as somebody in the chat said, and I agree with this person, even if those two didn't have anything to do with the disappearance of Sebastian, I don't care for them. And that's how I feel. I don't care for them. So I don't know where this case is going. And I think about something Tony said as far as the investigation. Are you all closer now to information regarding the boy? I'd like to know that myself. Of course, we know naturally it's an open investigation. Can't tell everything. But I'd like to know, are they closer to the truth or a suspect, or which direction is the case going in? Is it a criminal investigation at this point? What is the truth? As you heard Seth say 2 weeks or so ago, when he was on the water searching, it was a recovery. Although he still has faith that his child's alive. And that's the thing you have to understand about having a missing child, is that you don't have to agree with him. He's entitled to his opinion about his child because that's his child. Whether you think the child's alive or you think the child's deceased. It's a terrible thing to think of the child, one, missing, being with strangers, kidnapped or human trafficked or lured. It's sad to think if the child ran away and just succumbed to the elements. And then what's also sad is if indeed the child was unalived by his caretakers. That would be even worse. So all of it's bad. It's all negative. No matter which methodology you think about the child. It's bad because he's not visible. And it breaks my heart. And the one thing I was thinking about when this guy was talking earlier in the audio about people helping 300 searchers at that time, it was a weekend, the first weekend to Sebastian missing. I thought about Tennessee. It makes my eyes water because I know, how we navigate here in Tennessee. Although I don't live in Middle Tennessee, but I can speak for the state itself. We are the volunteer state. That is our mantra. This is the volunteer state. I live here in East Tennessee where the University of Tennessee is. We are the Vols. We are vigilant. This state is a helping state. And I definitely can speak of this area where I am. Few counties I know about personally, Anderson, Blount, Knox County. This is a helpful area. You come here, you're destitute, you in trouble, you need this or that. We will help you. People will help you. Strangers, organizations, they will help. You understand what I'm saying? We will help. We will help. This is a helping state. This area where I live is a helping state. So it don't matter what you're going through. You've been in a fire, you're homeless, you've been evicted, somebody hurt you, domestic abuse, whatever. There is help, but you got to reach out. And that's the one thing I love about Tennessee is we are a helping state. And I hope, it's the same over there where they live, Hendersonville, Clarksville, that area. I can't really speak for Nashville, how they navigate, because I haven't lived there to know how they get down, but I can speak of this part of the state. We're helpful. We're not going to let you starve. We're not going to let you be destitute. Now, as I said, many people in this area, they don't know who Sebastian is. Hell, they didn't even know Sumner, and that's just an hour up the road. Crazy as that sounds. But this is what people don't understand. It's a new day and time now. People don't have cable now. They're just depending on Wi-Fi and that damn cell phone. So they don't know that some kid's missing up the road. They definitely don't know there's a kid missing in Middle Tennessee. And I talk to all kinds of people. I talk to white people probably more than I talk to a lot of black people. And even the white people here don't know. I was like, what the hell is going on? I'm like, don't you watch the news? What the fuck is going on? Excuse my language. No, I didn't know. But they know every damn thing else. You can worry about politics and who's arguing at the White House and all that other type of crazy ass nonsense, but you don't know nothing about what the fuck is going on 3 hours in your own damn state. That's crazy to me. It's crazy as hell. You don't know nothing about across the road. 3 hours is nowhere from here that you don't know nothing about a kid missing. Some are missing up the road. Or you don't even know what's going on inside of Knoxville, Anderson, the surrounding counties. That's weird to me. I have the Newsbreak app, so I get news from here to New York. I get news abroad. I get news in London. I get news in Ireland. I get news in Iraq. I get news in Nashville, Memphis, Chattanooga, Chicago, New York, Philadelphia. All you got to do is hit a story, okay? You go on that Newsbreak app, just open a story. Okay? When you hit on that story, hit it a fucking again, it'll take you to wherever the hell that story is from. So you watch a story from Philadelphia, you could hit Philadelphia and you could hit nothing but Philadelphia stories. Boom. Want to go to New York? Same thing. That's the one thing I like about that Newsbreak app. It takes you anywhere in the 50 states and gives you updates to what is going on in that region. Politics, pop culture, sports, whatever. So if you want to keep up with what's going on, get the Newsbreak app, Set your location to where you live, and you'll get all the latest information where you live. Because a lot of people be complaining, why are we hearing about stuff in London? Well, you open it up, you realize it's in London or wherever in England, check back out. It's not nothing to cry about. It's not that serious. But I like it. Even though my phone pings like every second. Every second on a second on a second, my phone pings. That's why I have to keep my phone on silent, because I get notifications from YouTube, IG, other platforms. So my phone is a hot pinging ass mess. And trust me, it's overwhelming to see the notifications just sit up across the phone from all these different apps. But the point I'm trying to make, if you're curious to what's going on in your region, I suggest you get the Newsbreak app or the Breaking News app, and you can keep up with what's going on in your demographic. And you also can keep up with what's going on around the United States and abroad. So you don't even have to have a cable to watch the news. If you were a news watcher and you can't afford cable, just open the Newsbreak app and you set your location to, let's say, Jacksonville, Florida. Well, you're going to get all the local news from Jacksonville and around. Then you're going to get all national news. You're going to get national news in America, and you're going to get news from abroad. So you don't even have to have cable. That pop up. You're going to hear what happened in your town today. Anything breaking in Jacksonville, Florida, it's going to pop up. So that's my recommendation to you, you people who don't have cable, or those of you who are not, readily wanting to watch TV or the news. Just download the Newsbreak app. Thank you, honey. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Yeah, sweet Melissa. Yeah, I've got it on my I got it on my phone too, and trust me, it pings. I want to mention something that came up on my phone. I'm going to check out of here. What's done happened there? See, I get stuff everywhere. That's not including stuff that happens. See, I just got a notification from Chatham County. That's probably Savannah, because I was covering, Quentin Simon's story. 2 people found dead in a home. So I get notifications from everywhere. Now they're talking about Sonia Massey. Illinois officer charged with killing Sonia Massey had a history of bullying. Oh, Lord have mercy. Meghan Markle. I get notifications all day long. Don't stop. Prayers for our athletes competing in the U.S. Olympics. There's a family that just died. Three of them were in a Christian group. Sad. Somebody just commented on my channel 41 minutes ago. I don't know why this channel doesn't have more views and comments. This made more sense than anything I watch. What the fuck do they expect from this girl? She didn't get to go through all the stages of normal life like 90% of us did. Well, thank you for the compliment. Well, they don't like watching this channel because they like watching stuff where they make up stuff. That's what they they like the channels that make up stuff, chase people around and beat on doors. Hey, can't tell people what to watch. It's the way it is. Yes, in the plane crash, exactly. 3 people, a part of a Christian group, passed away in a plane crash. I want to say something about that. I'm going to check out of here. I don't care for small planes because I can say that just living here in Tennessee over the years, the stories I've heard of, planes going down here. I don't care for small planes. If it ain't no damn small jet like Southwest or something, I don't want to be on it. Shit, I think I was worried about flying on a small jet years ago. 20-something years ago, because the Southwest planes, some of those planes are small, but it ain't no big boy plane, United or something like that, Delta. Hell no, I'm scared to death. You're not going to get me in a small plane. I don't want to be in a small plane. I don't recommend them, because those are usually the planes that go down. One thing I can say about America, there have been some planes that have had, some problems. They were able to land them safely. One plane diverted from Hawaii not too long ago. But the point is, you rarely hear of a plane going down in America. The ones you hear going down, they're always commuter planes. No, thank you. I'll pass. Blew up when it crashed. What? Blew up when crashed. Well, yeah, it's going to blow up. It's small. Yeah, I'm leaving. Child, I'm already 2 hours and 35 minutes into this live, and I've already done a 3-hour Gypsy Rose live. I want to share this. I want to pull this story up. I've been on here 5 hours now. Jesus. Well. But yeah, I was just playing a little bit from the past pertaining to Sebastian. He's been missing 5 months. No new updates. His father will be trying to conduct, some searches and a prayer vigil coming up. He will let you all know if you want updates. Check out his YouTube channel, Seth Rogers, Sebastian's father, if you're curious. But no new updates from the news or law enforcement. As I brought you information earlier at the beginning of this live stream, TBI is still assisting Sumner County Sheriff's Department in this investigation. I do not know if this is a criminal investigation or not. They have not informed us where this case stands. But as Mr. Mathis has said, it would be nice to know, are you farther along in your investigation? That would be nice to hear. Yes, we are farther along. Yes, we have more pertinent information that we feel is vital to this investigation. I would love to hear that. That would be some nice information. Naturally, they won't tell us what it is, but it would be very nice to hear. Yes, we got leads. We're working on something. We can't say what it is, but we have something going on. That would be wonderful. Where is Sebastian Rogers? Is he alive? Is he alive, or has he perished? I'm sure that's on a lot of people's minds. I haven't forgotten about him. I haven't forgotten about him and other children that are missing. But it's sad to think of a 15-year-old missing. Autistic or not, don't matter. He's a child. He has parents. He had parents. Has parents. No, present tense. And also, he's a child of God. So if ain't nobody else caring about him, I know God cares. It's just a tragic. Oh my God, look at this. Breaking. Major power outage hits Paris. What? That's not good. Now Paris has a power outage. Dear God. Last thing I want to hear. You're 11:43, Alberta, Canada. So I'm 2 hours ahead of you. Wow, interesting. So Alberta must be what? West? Interesting. Don't know where this child is. It's scary. Just thinking. Trying to figure out where he is. What's the truth to his disappearance? Are the parents involved? Your mind just wanders. And it's sad that we're now at 5 months. This child has not been found. This is just horrible to me, because this to me is reminding me of Summer Wells, Started out 2 weeks. I came into that case 2 weeks into the case. And now look at it. 2 weeks now versus 3 years. Nothing. Just a bunch of gossip and he said, she said, and foolishness from her parents. Her brothers moved out of the house 6 weeks later. State care. One of the sons, he'll be damn near grown here shortly. So if he don't have contact with the Wells, hell, in probably another year, he can go find them on his own. If he wants to be bothered with them. God, I hope not. But in the end, they're still his parents. Still their parents. I pray for those boys. I pray that they're well and they're doing okay and in school and participating into the world, sports, activities. I pray that they have a good mindset, good disposition. That's all you can do is pray for them. Pray for Summer, wherever she is. No new updates to her disappearance. 3 years and nothing. 5-year-old missing nothing. 15-year-old missing nothing. It's terrible. This just makes me so upset. Yeah, the Olympics, but they have a power outage. I just got a notification. Yep, just got a notification. There's a major power outage. So I wonder if the outage is near where the Olympics games are being held. Does that have anything to do with it? Grid got overpowered. Don't know. I get more information. I'll give you an update. Let me see. Let me go into this crazy YouTube. See what they got pulled up. It's terrible. Yeah, somebody's already searched because it came right up. What does it say? So he had a video already 6 hours ago. I hadn't heard anything. Just not getting a notification. Oh, that was a day ago. Let me see. 12 hours. Where have I been? Didn't know anything about this. It says here, Paris Olympics 2024, trains hit by massive sabotage. What is that?
Today across France due to coordinated sabotage acts, the country's transport minister has said a few hours ahead of the inauguration ceremony of the Paris 2024 Olympic
What are y'all
Games.
talking about down there?
In the last few minutes, Eurostar has put out the latest in terms of the impact on that particular service. Disruption, Eurostar says, is due to, and I'm quoting, coordinated acts of malice. It says high-speed trains to and from Paris have been disrupted. Let's get the details then and bring in Paris Bureau Chief Alan Katz for the details. It's a fast-moving story, Alan. What do we know so far?
So what we know is that there were two separate incidents, one north of Paris, in between Paris and Lille, which is the line that the Eurostar takes going to London or Brussels, and one southwest of Paris. The one southwest of Paris actually seems to be a bit more serious. It's really cut the high-speed line between Paris and Le Mans or Tours. The one that's going to the north, that has delayed, it's delayed Eurostar trains. When they say disrupted, but so far, the trains haven't been canceled, but they are delayed.
Okay, I saw it just a minute ago. I wanted to play this first.
Okay,
Thank
it does
you.
come also after a number of French websites were shut down last month in an attack that was thought to be linked to Russian intelligence.
Yeah, it's not clear that this is the same. Honestly, we don't know. For the moment, these were physical acts. People have talked about fires on the tracks in local media, and the transport minister who discussed it talked about firefighters being on site for these locations. So it appears to be physical acts. Whether there were fires prompted by something that could be a hack or a cyber attack, it's really unclear at the moment. We really don't know what's caused this as yet.
It's pretty interesting given the context. I'm looking at a Financial Times story from May of this year, quoting intelligence sources in Europe, intelligence agencies in Europe, warning their governments that Russia is plotting violent acts of sabotage across the continent as it continues to commit to a course of permanent conflict with the West.
They mad at us?
In that Financial Times story of May. So we don't know who is behind this at this point, but that is the context. We have seen sabotage efforts by Russia and proxies, and
individuals linked to Russia in the past, in recent past in Europe. We don't know if this is the case when it comes to this story, of course. When it comes to security more broadly, Alan, across the games, that has been in focus prior to the events of today. What do we know about the efforts that have been put into that?
So France has really rolled out a very big security program for the Olympics, particularly for the opening ceremonies tonight in Paris. There are about 60,000 security personnel, a combination of police, military, even foreign police that are working this evening. Again, that security focus is mostly on Paris, and so that perhaps is why there were these attacks outside of Paris, because again, so much of the security has been on the city of Paris and particularly on making sure that the opening ceremonies, which will be a series of boats going down the Seine River,
okay, that's fine. Thank you, honey.
So, and one of the concerns that people have had.
Thank you. Well, I had enough trouble with YouTube already with crazy nonsense. Said don't talk about the Olympics, though. They are taking channels down that are talking about it. Really? Why? Because because of the act of terrorism? Is that the problem? Well, I'll check it out when I get off here. Prayers for whatever's going on over there. I hadn't even heard anything until just now when I looked in my notifications on my phone, because naturally I've been going live for hours, so I didn't go into any of my notifications to see, but I'll turn it on the TV and see what the hell they're talking about. Prayers for Paris, prayers for our athletes, our friends and families that are traveling there, are there. Prayers for them, prayers that we win some. I did bring you information in one of my first lives that we did win the gold in one of the competitions. Can't even remember what it was. It's been so many hours since I went live. But this is live number 3. Check out my lives from earlier. I talked about Sonia Massey and this young lady by the name of Fabiola Thomas. That's live number 1. Second live is pertaining to Gypsy Rose and Ryan. Their marriage has been held divorce on hold for 6 months because they don't have children. So in the state of Louisiana, they have to wait 6 months, live apart 6 months. After 6 months, they can file for divorce legally in their state. The problem with this is this dodo bird, Gypsy Rose, she just served Ryan Anderson divorce papers this month, which makes no sense. You left him in March and you're just now sending him divorce papers July 2024. Make that make sense. They're not going to have spousal support. Neither one. They have agreed not to sue the other one for spousal support. So that's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Yes, Sarah Boone, I mentioned her in a short the other day. She is now representing herself. I've not done a live about Sarah Boone. But right now, Sarah Boone has decided to represent herself, which isn't surprising because more than likely she's probably fired the last lawyer. So she should be on what? Lawyer number 8, lawyer number 9 now. Who can keep up? Nobody. Okay. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $Beganji 129 Cash App. Thank you all so much for following this network. Welcome, Miss Bernice. She's one of our new viewers to the network and subscribers. Thank you so much. I'll be back with more information pertaining to Gypsy Rose, Sarah Boone, Tupac. I got to bring you an update or video pertaining to Keefe D. I did some shorts on that subject, so check the shorts in the YouTube queue pertaining to Keefe D and all that nonsense. They're now implicating P. Diddy in documents that he offered Keefe D money years ago to assassinate Tupac Shakur. Dear God, I'm drowning. Can't keep up with all this nonsense. Every damn day it's something. Why the freaking hell did he get in the... Because he was drunk? That's why. That's why he got in there. Stupid. That's the whole point of why you need to have some type of control. Drinking and using drugs, you do stupid stuff. It don't matter if you're 20, don't matter if you're 15, don't matter if you're 60. People do stupid stuff when they drink, when they use drugs. He stupidly got in the suitcase. Because I'm not going to sit here and think she put him in that suitcase and left him there. No, they probably played a game. Hey, let me see if you can get in this suitcase. I bet you can fit in that suitcase. She's hoping he would get in there, and he stupidly crawled in there. And then she finished him on up, zipped him on up. Because she tried to say, oh, he had enough room to stick his finger out of there. And the police said, no, ma'am, he did not. He did not have room to stick his finger out to unzip himself. See, only a fool would allow a person to zip them up in a suitcase. There's no way in hell. I don't care if I can fit in there or not. I know my big butt ain't fitting in nothing, so I ain't got to worry about climbing in no damn suitcase. And pray don't nobody try to put me in one. You're welcome, honey. Well, he was a small person. The point is, you can't get out of the suitcase, sweetheart, if it's zipped all the way up. That was what the police contended. He couldn't get out the suitcase. There was no way for him to get out because he didn't have a way to stick his finger out. That's what she said. Oh, he could put his finger out. That was her defense. And they're like, no, ma'am. It was zipped up. There was no way he could have opened it up. That's why you hear him talking in the suitcase. Please watch the video. He's talking to her. Hey, let me out. Let me out. I can't get out. I can't breathe. If you could get out, wouldn't you try to get out? He couldn't get out. Yeah. Well, she was going to get caught if there wasn't a video. Obviously, you all aren't listening to what I'm saying. When they took pictures of the suitcase, they look at the suitcase. They can tell if you zipped it up from the outside. That's the only way you can close a suitcase. Is by zipping it up. So a person can't zip a suitcase up from the inside. How are you going to zip it up if the handle's on the outside of the suitcase? You can't. That's how they knew she zipped them up. She tried to say, oh, I left the opening, or there was an opening. He could have just ran his finger by the zipper. And they telling her, ma'am, there was no hole or space for his fingers to run the zipper from the inside to try to zip his way out. Because she zipped it whole. That's my commentary. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful weekend. You've been listening to The Fault Excel. Prayers for Sebastian Rogers.